Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Okay, let me see. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so I think that's sorted. Oh, great. So how are we doing? Just mention in the comment section. Ah, the much awaited Foodstuff Export class is here. Who is excited? I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this class for like a very, very long time. I've been looking forward to this class for a very, 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 very long time, and I'm so glad that we get to have it today. So just leave. I want to see your comments. So put it in the comment section. How are we doing? How is everyone doing? I'm seeing your chats. I'm seeing everybody's chats. So I want to see how are you doing? What's going on, what's your expectation for today. By way of introduction, my name is Adugo Chintua. I am the programs lead at the Borderless Trade Network, and today we are going to be having a, let's call it Foodstuff Export 101 class. So why Foodstuff Export though? One, it's one of the easiest way to get into the export space, right? And that is putting it very plainly. If you have your own products and you're saying, I want to try the export space, but there's been issue of documentation. I don't know where to start. I don't even know how my products will be received in the market. This is the place you should plug in easily because according to the OECD report, there's been a high demand of foodstuff for foodstuff in the globe. Everyone everywhere is because of the increase in population. There has been a high demand on foodstuff, and especially the kind of foodstuff we have here in Africa. Plus, we know that there is a Japa syndrome going on everywhere now. Everybody wants to live for greener pastures, for better place. And when they arrive at those places that they are relocating to, there is first of all the culture shock, the food shock. Like you can't eat what is available in these places, right? So there is that high demand for Nigerian foods, for African foods internationally. So that means there is a huge market open for us to export our foodstuff or open for us to supply our foodstuff. So you can cash in on it. And if there is anything we know about Nigerians, about Africans, wherever we find ourselves, we have high influence power. So we can get a lot of people to buy into or to taste what it is that we already have. So, guys, without further ado, we're just going to because we didn't come here to listen to me today, right? Right. So we didn't come here to listen to me. We came here to listen to me only if I'm the one facilitating this class. But I am not the one facilitating this class. We have our export, the smart exporter, an export consultant. She has been playing in this space for over 5 years now, and she knows the rudiments of foodstuff exporting. Time will not permit me to read all of her bios, but her name is Adora Onyeke, and she's the country director and operations manager for Afrimall Logistics Limited, an export and international logistics provider with head office in Indianapolis, United States. Adora currently oversees branches in Nigeria and partners with provinces across Canada, US, UK, and she has successfully managed the operations of the cargo company from zero customers to a multi-million earning company in with head office in the United States, three branches all over Nigeria, and several sub agencies in Canada. Um, Between 2020 and 2021 alone, even with COVID, under her leadership, my Afrimall Logistics has sent out over containers with goods worth over 320,000 tons, with a customer base of over 1,300 clients in diaspora. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's make welcome our facilitator for this evening, Adora Onyeke. You're welcome, ma. Good evening. You're muted, ma.
Thank you so much, Adachi Intwa.
Good evening.
Good
It's such a
evening.
pleasure to have you. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, and you?
So great, so great. And we are so happy to have you. We've been looking forward to this session for a very long time. Everyone has been anticipating. So I'm just going to yield the floor to you and allow you to work your magic. These women and men are super anticipating. They're looking for other streams of income, and why not foodstuff export, especially when you have it in abundance and you have access to it. So I'll allow you to take over from here. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ada. My namesake. Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting. Like,
So, I just hope there won't be some sort of mix up tonight. Um,
okay, that's true. Let me leave the Ada to you. So, Amadugo, let me allow you to bear the Ada for today.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Over to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know there will be a few gentlemen here, so let me not try and start generalizing and saying just ladies. Welcome, all, welcome everyone to this night's session. This class is going to be amazing. It's going to be super, super practical. And I congratulate you for taking this awesome step in the right direction of expanding your business or looking at other streams of income for yourself before the end of 2022. So, guys, this is me, Adora Onyeke. Who is Adora Onyeke? You might want to ask. Ada Adugo Chintwa has given me a very warm introduction. Thank you so much, Ada, for that. So, my name is Adora Onyeke. You can call me Ada. Everyone calls me Ada or the Smart Exporter. So, a supply chain manager, like Ada rightly said, I've managed the operations of a multinational logistics chain for over 4 years now. And I currently manage the operations of the warehouses, the different distribution agents, everything across Africa and hubs in the United States and Canada as well. So I do have experience when it comes to supply chain. Then I'm also a business growth consultant. If you need help, if you need assistance with moving your business from point A to point B, especially when it comes to international trade, I am your go-to person for that. Next one is that I am an exporter, and that makes me eligible to come here this night and train you on exporting the practical way from experience, not just theoretical or giving you theories on what should be done, what is supposed to happen, but from my practical experience and knowledge over time, I will be breaking things down to the simplest facts. I will be breaking things down and making it very, very easy for you because there has been over time there has been a lot of should I say stereotypes when it comes to exports. Ada, could you help me still move back? Thank you. Yes, so there's usually a lot of stereotype around exports. A lot of people think they need to have millions to start exporting business, but that is not true. So I'm a practical teacher and coach when it comes to exporter. I'm also the lead coach at the Smart Exporter Limited, where I coach people from beginner stage to the stage where they make 7 digits or even more from exportation business, especially agro products. Next is procurement specialist. You can call me Madam Possible. Whatever you need across anywhere in the shores of this nation or anywhere in Nigeria, I can get it done for you. As long as it's a legal product, it is legal and it is made and grown here in Nigeria or neighboring countries. So I'm usually your go-to person for companies or individuals or African stores who need to procure items, agro products especially, from Nigeria or neighboring countries. So you can call me a procurement specialist when it comes to that. Finally, I'm a digital marketing enthusiast. When it comes to the world of exporting, you need to know your way around digital marketing because that is the level playing field. That's the platform where you can get access to people across the nations of the world. They are not in Nigeria with you. So wherever people gather online, I try to ensure that I have a little knowledge about those platforms and how to show my business in these platforms. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this session this night. I remain your host and I'm very, very welcome. I welcome you all. I'm very pleased to be here and I join you all to please be attentive. Please hold a pen and a journal or a jotter with you. Try and take notes. Avoid distractions as much as possible so that you pick up points, you pick up strategies, and you also get actionable steps on what next to do. Thank you so much, Ada. We can move ahead now. All right. So, what is export? What is export? What is export? People usually think exportation is difficult. Exportation is this, exportation. There are so many definitions of export. But export simplified is goods and services that are produced in one country but supplied to buyers in another country. It is known as export. Simply transferring goods and services from one country to another country. That is it. Simple and short. That's what export is. So you can export goods and you can also export services. But today our focus will be on products, that is goods, agro products, foodstuff, to bring it home, foodstuff. But don't shut down your mind on the service part. There is a part of exportation that concerns services. Over time, we will still be discussing it. I might chip it in along the line, but try and open up your mind that it is not just goods alone you can export. You can also export your service, your knowledge, and your expertise. Right here in Nigeria, you can make money from offering your services and sending products as well to people in diaspora. So exportation is one of the earliest kinds of economic exchange and it takes place on a huge scale between countries. So when you move items between point A to point B in one country to another country, it is usually called bilateral trade. Then when you're moving things from Nigeria to maybe Ghana, to India, to Canada, UK, it is multilateral trade. And it has been happening like from earliest times. People move things from their country to another country and also buy the products of those countries and bring it in right from the days of trade by barter system. So exporting is not a new thing. It is not something that is just gaining precedence in this decade or in this era. It has existed from far back. So we will be discussing the next things we will be discussing. Thank you, Ada. We can move to the next slide. So I will try and make this as fast as possible. I want to talk about the theoretical aspects before we move to the practical aspects of exportation. And why I like to usually do this is because if you do not see possibilities, it is usually very tough or very challenging to see the things that are possible from a business or from a venture if you do not try to first break down the myths, the stereotypes, or the fears that you have about that thing. So this is me trying to break down every fear or every myth or every stereotype that you might have heard, or you have previously, preconceived notions about exports that you have in your mind. So firstly, a lot of people usually think that you must start exporting with high capital. So, what are some of the stereotypes or myths that people have when it comes to export business? First, they usually feel that you need high capital. Other people think that you need export license. Some people feel that, if I don't have family and friends in diaspora, I cannot really export, because who will be helping me to clear my goods over there, or to help me source for customers, or to deliver my products to buyers over there? So a lot of people feel that if I don't have family and friends abroad, it will be really tough for me to enter the export market, and that is not true. Then next one is when it comes to farming or agro products, that is foodstuff. Some people feel that if you do not own a farm or have products, like if you're not a products-based business owner, you cannot export. And it is not true. Next one is that people feel for you to export, you should you should have visa to different countries in the world. You should be able to travel abroad to these places so as to make sure that your business goes on well. With COVID and every other thing that has been happening right now, we know that you can do business remotely. You can move things from point A to point B without necessarily following this product or that service, and it will be delivered. So you do not need to keep on traveling to the US or to Canada or to UK for you to actually move your product to these places, or for your product to thrive in these locations. Next one is export experience. So some people feel that if I do not have some sort of experience, it will be really hard for me to go into the world of exports, because it looks like this large and very complicated thing to do, and that is not so. Then is it possible to actually export? I know you might be looking at your business and you're feeling your business has not yet grown to the level where you can actually export, but it is actually possible. It is possible, and we will find out in the next slides with my explanation. So, must you start with high capital? No, you do not need to have a lot of capital to start exportation. There is something called mini exportation, just like mini importation works, where you do drop shipping, some sort of drop shipping, or you start with the level of capital that you have, and then as your business expands, your capital also expands, and the volume at which you can trade also significantly increases. The same thing applies to export. You can export with as little as 50,000 naira or even less. Some people have started this export business without anything at all. Now, I know you're having questions in your head and you're saying, how? Like, how is it possible to start a business without any form of capital at all? But I will go on to tell you how it works. When it comes to exports, your social capital is very important. But what is more important is your visibility online and the marketing strategies you have. If you can position yourself properly in the right places on the right platforms, you will start getting export orders. If you are offering products to people, people will pay just by seeing your products online. They make transfers, and then you send the products to their agents or logistics partners that can do this thing, and you have started exporting. We will break down the steps later on, but I just want you to open up your mind and stop limiting yourself. Right? Have we gotten it up to this point? Are you seeing possibilities already? So next one is export license. Do you need an export license to start exporting? The answer is yes and also no. So if you're starting on a large scale, you will need export license. There are some kind of volumes that you need to trade across countries, that your export license will be required. But because you're just starting, you're a beginner, you do not need to have the export license from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. However, if you want to start and do it professionally, the export license is actually not so expensive, with less than 20,000 naira. Yes, I think it is about 15,700 naira or thereabouts. And in less than 30 minutes, you can actually get that license on the NEPC portal. So what you just need to do is to have your certificate of incorporation. That means your business must be registered as a limited liability company, and you put in all the documents required there, and they issue you your export license. So it's as simple as that. However, if you have not gotten to the stage where you have an already registered business, and your tax clearance certificates and everything, tax identification number, if you do not have all those things and you are just starting from scratch, you can actually export. There are levels to it. Just like every business has stages, you can start as level one, and then you progress to the other stages, right? So next one, family and friends abroad. You do not need to have the support of family and friends abroad. I want to break tables. Can I break tables this night? You we usually have this mindset that your friends and your family should be your first customers when you start business, and it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always work that way. For some people, it is good. Your family supports you with every venture that you do. But for some others, your family will leave you first. They want to see how serious you are. So strangers will be your first customers. And I usually advise that, because by the time you start doing well, they actually respect your business enough, and when they are coming, they are not coming with the mindset that they are supporting you. They are paying customers, so they will pay, they will not owe you. And that's the thing that I usually advocate for. If you're starting an export business, you may want to not immediately reach out to people that you know. Okay, um my auntie is in the States, let me reach out to her first. My uncle is in Australia, my cousin is in Dubai. You do not want to do that at first. Stand on your feet, get it started first, and when they see the result you have made, no matter how little, they will see that this business is serious for you, and then they take the business serious as well. They do not just take it as if it, it's another hobby this person wants to chase, and let's just see the end of it, that kind of thing. Especially for people who are multi-talented, people who have tried their hands at different things, you should give yourself the faith, put enough faith in the business, and try it out for yourself. People will now reach out to your relatives that, oh, I heard this person is doing this and that, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't even know it was that serious. So yes, let me reach out to them on your behalf. So that's how it works. Next one is that you do not need to have a farm or have products or be a product based business owner to start exportation. Just like drop shipping works, where you do not actually keep stock or inventory, and you can market things online, people place orders with you, and then you now reach across to someone that actually stocks this product and send it to the buyer without the buyer knowing that you don't have this product in your physical shop. It also works that way for export as well. The how I would break down later on as we proceed. So, do you need to travel abroad? No, you don't need to travel abroad. We've had our offices in the US, and when I tell people I've not been to the US, like I've not physically seen that warehouse in the last 3 years that we opened that warehouse, some people don't believe it. We have agents and partners across Canada. I have never been to Canada, but the business is thriving. I actually just want to break that jinx between late this year and next year, but let's see how it goes. So you do not need to travel abroad. Same applies for other countries that we've exported to: Australia, UK, Dubai. I don't need to go to these places, but I have people over there that sort out that end of the business for me smoothly and seamlessly, and I don't need to travel over there to oversee the operations. Next one is you need export experience. No, you do not. You can start where you are and then learn as you grow with the help of experts, with the help of teachers, and with the help of other professionals who are doing well. You learn from their experience, you stand on the shoulders of those that have gone ahead of you, and you move at a faster pace. So you don't need to make the mistakes that I have made. You don't need to have the physical experience. You don't need to have all that I have passed through over time. So do you need export experience to be able to start? You don't need to take 5 courses or go for professional training or do this or do that. No, you don't need that. But what you need is to ensure that you're working hand in hand with someone that is actively doing the business, and you will pick up in no time. It's that easy and simple. There are people who are illiterate. If you go to the export section of NACO, over here in Lagos, Nigeria, there are people who are just secondary school leavers or even primary school leavers, like very old people that can't read and write, and they have been in the business for years. Like that's the business that they use to train their kids in school, to build their houses, and they're actually living fine on the business. Finally, is it possible? Yes. If these people can do it, you can also do it. If anyone can do the business without actually traveling, without having support, there are some people that till date, they are top exporters, like they are top business owners, they are top freight forwarders that I know personally, and they don't have family over there. They don't have family over there, but the business is doing well. They are into the business. They get goods from customers regularly. They send it to the UK, and agents clears over there for them. They send to Canada, an agent clears over there for them. They send to UAE. So it is possible. I just need you to um shed off every limitation that you have put in your mind before, or every challenge that you might be feeling. Okay, people say this has happened, this is what usually happens. Strip yourself of all those limiting beliefs and let us move ahead. It is actually possible to make money from export, a lot of money actually. So how, you might ask? Let us move on. Why should you export? Why should you export? So export has numerous benefits. First of all is expanded markets. With the way the world is going, people are moving from our nation here, Nigeria, to other places. And you do not just want to rely on only Nigerian buyers that live in Nigeria. No, you want to expand your business to other economies. So exports gives you that opportunity. Next is employment. Exportation is one industry that provides employment, like the kind of labor that is needed for a single chain of exports to be successful is usually a lot. So when you start exporting, you cannot do a lot of things on your own. There are a lot of things, a lot of processes, a lot of linkages that is needed to complete the export operation from point A to point B where a customer gets it. There is so much involved that one person alone cannot get it done. So exports is one industry that helps the labor force. It provides employment to a lot of youths and older population as well, depending on which product you're choosing or dealing with. Next one is it's a source of valuable foreign exchange. Exportation is one of the industries that actually brings in dollars home. So if you know right now there is like a shortage of FX in Nigeria, and one of the ways that the banks are getting money steadily is from exporters, because every when you do a full container load of goods, the Nigerian government requires that within or the NXP. So that's how it's usually done. You have to repatriate the funds that you make from over there down to Nigeria in dollars, and also supports the country's economy. Exportation is one of the industries that the country, the government is actually trying to boost people, like actually supporting people to go into exportation. Because with exports, people are no longer depending on just importing from China, importing from Vietnam, importing from Turkey. When it comes to exports, you are now helping the economy. So should you why should export? Higher profits. When you're trading in the international markets, you will not be trading in naira. And even if you're trading in naira, the volume at which you trade at is usually more. So you make more profit. For example, something that is sold at say 1,000 naira here in Nigeria, by the time you add value to it, you send it abroad, you won't sell it at 1,000 naira. You will not sell it at 1,000 naira. Sometimes you trade those things at higher rates. For example, palm oil. A pack of palm oil, a 30 liters jerry can of palm oil currently is between 26,000 naira to 30,000 naira. If you're selling it in the US or in Canada, that same keg of palm oil might be at 50,000 naira when you exchange the rate in CAD, Canadian dollars or USD to naira. You're trading it at almost 50 to 60,000 naira, which is like double. So you're making more on it. So exporting gives you higher profit. Next one is that you earn in dollars. You earn in dollars. It goes without saying. You're trading, and when you're trading across border, the exchange rate is usually USD because that's the universal currency that is accepted. Apart from when you're trading with China, you use their own currency. So you earn in dollars. You earn in dollars. You also increase your sales. For example, when people say how I think my network might have ceased for a while. Can you guys hear me? Am I still audible? Please comment.
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So, when you're trading here in Nigeria, people can buy one unit of an item. So, for example, this is a jar of pepper soup spice. If you're selling in the market, someone can come and pick up just one and go home because this will still serve them for some months, right? But when an international buyer is buying, the rate of sending this thing, just this one alone, is usually very high. So instead of buying one, they prefer to buy like a pack that will last them longer. Even if it's just an individual, like a mom over there, it can, like a Nigerian based mom in Canada, if she's buying spices, she will not just buy only one. She will prefer to buy a pack of 12 or a pack of 6, so that whatever cargo rate she's paying, she knows that she doesn't have to pay again for the next 3 to 6 months when she'll be using that full pack. So if you're buying egusi or gari or other things, they buy in bulk. They don't buy one Congo or just 1 kg or 2 kg. No, they buy a lot. So that means that your sales increases because people are buying higher volumes from you instead of buying in units, right? So next one is product visibility. Exporting puts your products in the eyes of people that are not your home market. It puts your products across different people. It makes your products visible. So not just the people in your local market or your local area are seeing it. not just Nigerians over there are using it. There are Togolese people, there are Ghanaians, there are Cameroonians, like people across the West African coast. If you notice, we eat similar things but in different ways. So all the ingredients that we use for our soups are usually almost the same. Like Togo people eat egusi, Cameroon people eat egusi soup, they eat pepper soup as well. So the ingredients are typically almost always the same thing, but how we make it, the recipe might be different. So it means that you now have visibility. Not just Nigerians or only people in your Ikeja or only people in Lekki are seeing your products. No, other people from other places in those locations now start seeing your products, which increases your product's visibility and increases your product's value. So just like I mentioned earlier on, if something is 1 naira in Nigeria, over there you've heard that garri is so expensive, palm oil, they don't see good palm oil over there. It's usually very hard for them to get quality palm oil. So when they see it, they usually rush it. That's just a simple way to explain it. Have you seen how much Nigerians rush pomo, like pomo that you look at as just ordinary here in Nigeria? Over there is like hot cake. So the value has increased because of the scarcity. It's not as common as the other.
So I think that Adora is
If your
having a
product,
network difficulty. Adora, are you back? Are you with us now?
yes, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Oh, okay. I didn't actually know that you people missed me for a while. So am I very clear now? Okay, so before the network issues, I was talking about reduced vulnerability. So your product is buffered against economic hardships in one country. If there are economic policies or government policies in one country that affect your business, if your product is in other countries, like the demand for your product in country A might be reduced or low, while the demand for it in country B and C is actually quite high. So either ways, you're still in business and you're profitable. So that's one of the top reasons why you should consider exporting. Next one is expansion. Exportation expands your business. So you now have customers in different places, now boosting your sales, the volume that you are doing. When you have to supply in tons, your business has expanded, meaning that you now have to employ more hands, you have to put structure around your business, and you have to ensure that value is maintained all round across board. So you cannot be giving top quality to products that are going to Canada and then products that are going to Niger or Cameroon or right here in Nigeria, you are doing it anyhow. No, as your business is expanding, you need to also ensure that there is structure around it to to um to sustain quality control and every other thing. Final reason why you should export is that the government now supports it. Unlike other industries where today you start this business, just like GoCarda some years ago, or other dispatch services, unlike other services or industries where today it's happening, like the business is doing well, before you know it, one government policy is introduced that shuts down the entire operations. It's not that way. The government has seen how much um, revenue is being gotten from exports. So they are actually bringing policies that will inspire people, motivate people, and actually encourage people to move into exportation. So you don't have You should not have the fear that, okay, if I go into this business, what if tomorrow now they ban exporting goods, they ban exportation of goods to this country or that country. No, it doesn't work that way. Unlike imports, you can wake up tomorrow and they said they've closed the borders. But when it comes to exportation, even in the heat of COVID, we were actually exporting because it's more like an essential service as well. So you are safe when it comes to that one. You are safe. The government actually supports it. And when there is government support in a particular industry, there's usually structural support. They will encourage you with different things, different incentives. They have different incentives right now, encouraging business owners to try and start exporting. Are we following up to this point? If you have any questions, please just note them down. We will get to a stage where we can take questions. So um, just write your questions down. Try not to forget it. Put it down. We will open the floor for questions later on. So, what are the ways to export? How do you export? This is the part that now starts like the main. How do you export? So there are two ways to export: the formal or direct exporting and informal or indirect exporting. Some people call it briefcase export. So we'll be diving deeper into it. What's formal or direct exporting? What are the things involved when it comes to formal exporting? So what do you need to do? For if you want to start formal export, these are some of the requirements, the steps you need to take to be a formal exporter and to ensure that the business is structured properly so that you meet government regulations both here in Nigeria and over there in the countries that you are sending these products to. So what do you need? You need CAC limited liability documents. You need to register your company. Next one, export license. It's available on the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. You can do it yourself once you have your CAC. Once you have your CAC, a corporate bank account, and a tax identification number. And usually these things usually come like three in one package. So your lawyer can get it sorted out for you. Third one is product or market combination. So after you've gotten your CAC license, you've gotten your export license, what else should you be doing? You should think of the products. What products do you have, and which markets abroad do you want to start sending them to? So this is the stage where you have to do extensive research. Okay, these products that I have, ginger, which countries are the top buyers of ginger? So it is export when it is moving from Nigeria to, let's say, Switzerland. But for Switzerland people, for the Swiss people, it is import. So when you're doing your research, you should be searching for top importing countries of ginger or top importing countries of shea butter and so on. So that's what you should be doing. You should be searching for industries that use these products, these agro products that you have. So if you have palm oil, which industries usually use palm oil a lot? You know that palm oil is not just for only eating alone. There are still some other things that they use it for. So where are these people in? Which companies need it? Which areas do I need to work on for these products to meet the demand standard that is required in these countries? These are the things you need to research on. So once you've decided on this, I usually advise that you should have at least three different countries as your focus if you're starting out. Later on, you can reduce and focus on the one that you get the higher volume of customers from, or inquiries or interest. So when you think of ginger, where should you be thinking of? When you think of cocoa butter or shea butter, which countries are you thinking of? When you think of, let's say, Nigerian spices, where should you be thinking of? You should be thinking of places with Nigerian population, diaspora community over there, or places that they need this item either in this form or another processed form. But usually this thing that I have or that I have access to right here in Nigeria is a raw product or a raw material needed for that finished product that that country is known for. So when it comes to chocolates, Switzerland, Germany,
So, Adora, we lost you for a bit there. If you could take us back to when it comes to chocolate, you mentioned Switzerland, Germany, and a few others. So, while we're trying to get Adora back on track, how are we enjoying this session? You can just let me know in the chat box. I'm going to be reading your chats now. And if you have any questions so far, please drop them in the chat box and let's know how you're faring in this session so far. Is it lit or what? If you have any questions thus far, just drop them in the chat box. Let me see your questions. Okay, Adora is back. Great to have you back. So before the network glitch, you were telling us that when it comes to chocolate, you mentioned Switzerland, Germany, and a few other places. If you could just pick up from there.
yes, Switzerland. So when you want to, if you have access to a lot of cocoa here in Nigeria, the cocoa seeds or the processed one in some forms, you should be looking at these countries. And not just individuals, definitely, you're looking at industries that are making either chocolate drink or chocolate bars or products that they need cocoa seed itself or the processed one. So that's how to structure your product slash market combination. So for every product you have, you should have at least three countries that you have in mind for this product, and not just any country that you think of, but countries that actually need this product. That's what you should be doing. Next one is to source export order. And how do you source export order? Usually, people usually say B2B websites like Go for World Business, Export Hub, and the likes. I I typically would like to disagree. So for me, or from my own experience, I don't usually get, I've never gotten a contract from these websites. So with the whole scams and everything going on, a lot of people don't trust the vendors that they see on this website. Some of them just try to use it to get information. So you might get a lot of inquiries, you might get a lot of questions if you're using Go for World Business and the likes. But to actually move the business through the pipeline and actually execute might be tough because of the crooks that are on this business. So there are legit businesses there, there are legit buyers there, but there are also a lot of scams and shams. So even actual buyers are scared to do any contract from this website. So you might want to just put your businesses there, and from there, as a form of lead generation, like people see when people are looking for palm oil suppliers in Nigeria, they see you, they pick your company details, and they go to Google, they go to Facebook, they check your company website and every other thing, just as a form of safety measure. They check, they try to ensure that they are not going to be scammed because of the image of Nigeria. So if you want to put your products on B2B websites, there's a way to put your product. But I usually tell people not to put your mind or your hopes high. Don't raise your hopes high that you will get contracts there, especially if you're not on a paid level. And the paid levels are usually very expensive. Like some of them usually require that for you to have a pro account, nothing less than $1,000, and you have some form of support from their staff or marketers over there. So it's not feasible for someone who is just starting as a beginner without so much capital. I mean, you do not have $3,000 or $5,000 just to be on a website with the expectation that buyers will reach out to you. So, what are the proactive measures that you can do? There are other websites that I usually advise, and these websites are not so, people usually think like it's just social media platforms like Facebook. People get a lot of buyers from Facebook, like Instagram. 80% of the buyers we have, or the customers we have, like old customers we have in this business, we got them from Instagram between 2018 till date. So some of them, the initial contact was from Instagram and Facebook, and then we started talking on through WhatsApp and email, and from there the business clicks, and they have become like more like family members, or excuse me, or like, I don't know, returning customers. Yes, that's the word. They are now returning customers that eventually even refer us to other people, bring in more businesses for us. So don't shut down your mind to like, is it not just ordinary Facebook? What can I do? How you position yourself differently will make you attract the kind of people you need. So some people might be playing with it as just Facebook or just LinkedIn, but a lot is actually going on. Like a lot of business deals and negotiations are done off LinkedIn, off Facebook, off Instagram. So that's it. Sidebar to sourcing export orders. So next one is, when you are finally gotten the export order, what do? You send product sample. When it comes to formal or direct exports, these people are not buying just 100 kg or 200 kg. They are buying tons. They are buying large volumes. So you cannot just say, this thing that I brought is very good, and they just take your word at face value like that. It doesn't happen that way. So you need to send samples to them. And how do you send product samples? At least a 1 kg pack, a 1 kg small sample size. You send it through DHL or UPS or FedEx, depending on whichever one you have access to. You send the product sample to them. They do their testing and quality checks. If it complies, if it meets the standard that they want, you can then proceed with the order. So what should you do after your product has passed the quality checks over there? So let's say you have palm oil, they need palm oil, or they need ginger, or they need corn flour, whatever it is that we make right here in Nigeria, because they want to either sell it as raw material or they want to process it into other forms. After you have sent the sample, what should you do? You should now exchange contracts with them. What do they need? They have to put the exact form that they need this thing, in what sizes. So if you want a full 40 feet container of shea butter, how should we pack it for you? Some people usually prefer that you pack it in small cup sizes for them, while some people might want it in 25 kg bags. Some people might prefer that you pack it in 100 kg per piece for them. So all these things needs to be sorted out. That's at the contract stage. How should it be packed? Should it be packed in cups? Should it be packed in sacks? Should it be packed in Ziploc packs? Should it be packed in um, laminated pouches? Different things. There are different ways of packing different items. So to pass their own check over there, you need to ensure that all these things is listed out, so that there will not be, I did not know, I just thought that. For these people, they're very finicky with details. They're very structured. So everything they do, they need it to be up to standard. It should be up to standard. So ensure that there is no ambiguity. Everything you do should be simplified. How should it be packed? How should we label it? Should it be unlabeled? Like there should be nothing there, just 1 times 20 kg shea butter? Or be should it be labeled with English or Arabic, or English and French, or English and Dutch, or English and German. You need to specify these things, especially if they are going to retail it. So if it's not wholesalers buying from you, yes, they are buying in bulk, but they don't want to do the extra work of now paying labor and everything. They want you to sort out everything here in Nigeria for them. You need to ensure that the wordings, the labelings, so next thing before sending the goods, in the export contract stage, you have to state the payment terms. How will they be paying you? Are they going to pay you when the goods are on sea? Is it going to be free on board? Is it going to be LC, letter of credit? Like, you need to ensure that whatever payment term they are offering is acceptable to you, so that you don't lose out. Some people see contracts and they see standby letter of credit and they are jumping. Like, if the volume of that thing is really large and you can't execute that contract on your own, accepting a standby letter of credit will be lost to you. Because at the end of the day, if the goods get there and they send the money to you, what if they don't send it? What if they don't send it? And if you're borrowing, if you're collecting, oh dear, we're still in Nigeria. This is the reminder that we're in Nigeria after all. So please give me a minute to sort this out. A second, actually.
Okay. All right. While Adora was is sorting this out, my goodness, there's just so much to unpack here. I already have a few questions that I want to ask. I don't know if there is nobody else that's like, as she's walking us through this journey to export. I'm already working out a few questions in my mind. Like, for example, when she gets back, I want her to answer, what does a standby letter of credit mean? And how does it impact one who is exporting? And then secondly, what other means of payment and how else can an exporter negotiate these things, right? Then I've been narrowing it down to foodstuff exports. When she said you send your product sample for testing, before you send the product sample for testing, how do you ensure that the product passes the quality test? What are the quality control mechanisms that you can put in place as an exporter, right? How do you even do this quality control management down here before you send your products for? And then who bears? I mean, these are the nitty gritties that your contract needs to focus on. Who bears the cost for packaging? Who follows up on ensuring that? How do you ensure that payment is made before the goods is received, or before your like, if you accept for example 50% upfront, how do you ensure that as your goods is arriving this country, you are receiving your 50% balance? These sort of very little. So if she could dwell a bit more on the export contract, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm here to learn just as much as you are. So let me get your feedback in the comment section. Let me know, how is it going for you? What's it like? What has the class been? Ah, your network is misbehaving. Sorry, Ekemini. So sorry about that. I think you can log out and log back in and see if it's any better. Log out and log back in. Let's see if it's any better. Sorry about that. Please let me get your feedback in the comment section. How was it like? How has the class been? Is it answering the questions? Is it opening your mind? Are you seeing a whole different opportunity in the world of export? Just hit me in the comment section. I'm here for it. I want to know what it's like for you. on you from your own end of things. And then I think another aspect I would love to hear is what's in high demand from Nigeria. What food stuff, what are the low hanging fruit food stuff that we can begin to source out right now? What's a high demand from Nigeria? Then also, whoever thought that Facebook could be a means for export, I didn't know that. Like, you could source for clients on Facebook. You could get these conversations moving from there. So when she says that you can position your page, I want to also ask, how can I position my social media to begin to attract this kind of clients? So our facilitator is back. I'm just going to put her back on. And Adora, not to worry, I have my questions already lined up. You don't have to answer them now. So we can
Okay.
continue with the class as it is, and then I'll ask. I have a whole lot of them, so I'll always ask afterward. So I yield
Okay.
to you. Yeah.
Thank you. So I stopped at talking about your contracts, your payment terms. I know there will be a lot of questions about payment terms, but just note your questions down. After the class, I will have a session where we take all your questions, as many as possible questions, and I respond to them. So continue from where I stopped. Your contracts should have everything and anything that you're not clear on outlined in simple English. Simple English enough, and no matter how simple it is, your lawyer should always have a second look at your contract, so that, especially for we that we are just laymen, in layman terms, for the lawyers, they should know all the other words where there has to this and that, whatever they put there in terms of the contract. Before you sign the contract, you should ensure that another eye, expert eye, your lawyer should look at it, and an experienced exporter, so that you do not accept a payment term that at the end of the day you'll be losing out on. We don't want you to now put your money eventually, or your efforts in ventures that will put you in sorrow. There are so many people who have gone into exports and they got their hands burnt at it. So ensure that you always revise your contract, and another exporter who has been doing the business before takes a look at the contract for you. So there, some of my students, my students from some of my courses that I've taught before, my past trainings, they usually are happy. Like, they send me some contracts or some inquiries, and I just tell them, no, you can't accept this. And then they're like, why? By the time I break down the requirements, because of just one term, maybe they just write payment term CIF, or payment term SBLC, and you don't know what it means, but because you're just excited in the heat of the moment, you overlook things like that. But an experienced exporter looks at it, and the first thing they look at is the volume you need, the port it is going to, and the payment terms. They look at the payment terms, because some of the buyers themselves too are actually people who are, let me not say hoodlums, but they don't have good motives. So it is not just, don't feel it is just Nigerians that can scam people over there. People over there as well can scam you. There are some Asians that do, let me not, this is a global platform, but just not to incite any kind of negative feelings, but try and be careful and get experts to guide you along the journey. So next thing is, after all this has been sorted out, then you send the goods. Then when the goods get there, depending on whether it is air freight or sea freight that is used for the contract, you have to do customs clearance. So that's the part where you need a customs broker to clear it, or a citizen over there if it is air cargo that is some kind of volume that an individual can clear, right? So next one, finally, for sea freight, you have to repatriate funds back. That's the point where you need a corporate account with a Nigerian bank. And recently, most of the banks are actually lobbying, like they're moving towards exporters. About some months back, yes, one of the leading Nigerian banks had a training or a kind of conference just to open people's eye to export and everything. And the motive of it is they want you to go into export, but they want, when you go into export, for you to open an account with them because it is profitable for them. You are repatriating funds back, they are getting money from it, you are getting money from it. So that's it. That's the steps to formal export. How do you move from this point to that point? Because when you're starting, Ada, please, the last slide, I'm not done with the formal slide. Just one quick word before I move. So with all that I have stated for this formal export, you would agree with me that a lot of money is involved, right? That's the part where people usually say, export is big money to start it. But if you have not gotten to the level where you can do all this, from this point right here, CAC, to the NXP part, where do you start? I know that's the question you have in your mind right now. Adora, how do I start when I don't have all this yet? That's the part where informal export comes in. Thank you so much, Ada. You've been so kind. So we're moving to informal export. So with informal exports, you can start with no registrations at all. You can start with no registrations at all. Just business name. Some people even don't start with business name at all. Like registering your business name with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Some people don't start with that at all. And they are exporting. Next one is export license. You don't need that. All you need to do is to get in touch with a registered exporter, an experienced exporter that is actively exporting. Then you pick their advertised cargo dates. Every time that they have schedules, for example, my company, my Afrimo, when we want to do, we're currently gathering goods going to Canada. So on Friday, yeah, last Friday, we loaded a container that is going to Manitoba, Canada. Now, what we did is at least a month before, we had started advertising that in September we will be going to Manitoba. So what usually happens is there are some interested people in exports. They don't have a physical location, they don't have registered business names, they don't have they're not doing any of the big things that we are doing. But what they do is they have brands already online actively talking about exportation, errands, service for export and everything. And what they do is every time we put out dates, they let us know that they will also try to bring customers. So we have some sort of commission basis already worked out with them. They have discounts with us. So if, for example, sending something is 500 naira per kg, for these people, we treat them as sub shippers or agents. So rather than charge them 500 naira per kg, what they pay will be between the range of 400 naira to 480, depending on the volume that they have. So we already have certain prices pegged for some gaps, some ranges. So if you have 100 kg to 500 kg, this is the discount you get as an agent. 1000 kg to 2000 kg, this is what you get. 3000 to 5000 kg, this is what you get, and so on and so forth. So they already know that they have at least 50 naira, 30 naira per kg on any customer that they bring to us, right? Now, some of them advertise and they don't advertise 500 naira, they also add a markup. So they are advertising with 550 or 600 naira per kg. Now, don't forget, they have no office where they can bring, where people can drop off items. They don't have scales, they don't have staff and all those things, but they are advertising because they have built their brand. They've built brand visibility online to an extent. They have gotten that KLT factor. That is, customers know them enough, they like them, and they trust them enough with their money because they have been showing up consistently. At this point, what they do is they're advertising when people reach out to them, they already have all the information on what we accept, what is not allowed, how to pack it, what volume you need to meet up with, whether it's 100 kg or 50 kg or 500 kg. They already know all that. So all the frequently asked questions that an intending buyer will have, they can answer it. And then when it comes to the point of pricing, they add their own markup. This customer feels they are dealing directly with XYZ company. At the end of the day, they drop off their items, or this agent goes to pick up from either their vendor or their family members. Some of them do not even have family members in Lagos or anywhere close to where we are. So they then tell them, oh, can you buy this and that, and they send a list. So most of them is usually garri, palm oil, elubo, egusi. For those who are not Yoruba, like for those who are not Nigerians here, that's like melon, palm oil, yam flour, plantain flour, provisions like noodles, milo, snacks, plantain chips, peanuts, groundnuts, coconut chips, and the like. So all these things that they're craving and they don't have a lot of it over there, they prefer to buy it from Nigeria where it is fresh and actually cheaper. So at that point, you are offering a service, you are going to the market for them, or you are doing procurement. So you get wholesale sellers, you buy from them. If you want to mark up, you can also mark up those products you are getting from the market. So you're making money from getting these things from the market for these people. That is that service you're offering, and you're also making money from the cargo aspect of it. That's the informal way to export if you do not have any form of capital at all. With just your smartphone and access to data, you can do that. So product market combination, most of these people, because they already have certain places in mind. They already know that US, Canada, UK, Dubai, these are the places that you have a lot of patronage from. They think of the products, just like I explained in product market combination. They think of the products that people in this area would like. And also you have to bear in mind that some of the things that customers over there will like, the country where they reside in might be pegging that product as a contraband. For example, pomo, dairy products, fish products are not allowed into the UK. So people over there in UK might be craving these things, but they can't get it. So you need to be knowledgeable enough to know that, okay, oh, this certain product cannot work for this particular market. This product can work for this market. This is allowed here. Pomo is allowed here, but it's not allowed here. Milk is not allowed anywhere at all. Okay, fish is allowed into Canada and US, but not allowed into the UK. So when enquiries come, you already know the right product slash market combination that works together. Are we following? Can I see some comments? I think I can't really see the comments, but I just hope. Can I get feedback? Are you getting ideas at this point? Are you getting ideas? Are you getting ideas? So next one is marketing. How do you get buyers online? Visibility on all platforms, or the platform that you have mastered. You know how to run Facebook ads excellently. Work with that one for a start. If it's TikTok that is working for you, how do you get engagement on TikTok? How do you get responses? How do you get inquiries? You should focus on that particular platform. Leverage on tools that help you to be for people to really see you, to be visible. Tools that will help you promote your product with as little as possible. Do you need to work with mini influencers? Do you need to be showing up consistently in some certain pages, comment section? Do you need to use some certain hashtags? Do you need to show up daily? Do you need to do live videos? All these things, like, get the right marketing that you're comfortable with and that is actually effective for that online platform, and stick with it. Next one is after you have gotten the product, then you hand it over to the agents who do the actual exporting, the documentation and everything. They send the goods and then you keep in touch with the customer. So that is how um, informal exporting works. Simplified, that's how it works. For someone who is just starting out with no capital at all and you don't have products yet. So next point, next slide. So opportunities in exports, how do you move? What should you do? What are things that are open for you? There is farming. If you are not if you are in the rural areas, there is farming for you. There is domestic logistics, moving items from the rural areas to urban city centers. There is manufacturing and processing. Okay, this raw ginger has been harvested. What should you do to it? Should you pack it? Should you process it as just dried ginger, wholly dried ginger? Should you process it as dry split ginger, meaning you have to cut them and then dry them again? Do you want to process it as ginger powder? So that chain of export is manufacturing and processing, where you are moving the things from raw to either processed or semi-finished goods. The next one, e-commerce solutions. At the point where export has gotten right now, everything hinges on e-commerce, like digital marketing, because 90% of the job happens online. When it comes to landing customers, getting customers, convincing them, it happens online. So sales process, what's this word, handling objections when it comes to copywriting, when it comes to the website. If somebody needs an e-commerce website, what should be there? If you are knowledgeable in these things, or you have access to someone that can offer this service, there are things that are still linked to export. There are opportunities in export that you can leverage on. um Ads, running ads, like there's some students and people who are just like entry level people who recently, their focus when it comes to digital marketing is on solving advert issues for people. So if your ads account is disabled, when it comes to jingles, when it comes to doing videos for busy 9 to 5 moms, or business owners that do not have time to actually manage their social media pages, all these things still links to export. It still links to export because online is where you meet these people first, and the steps before you can move them from online to now getting the products, exporting it and then receiving it, that's the bridge that a lot of the work goes into. So there's so many opportunity, like there's a lot of opportunity within e-commerce, what's it called, digital marketing, networking online, affiliate marketing. All these things still work somehow, and you need to at least learn about it or get someone that knows about it to be able to help you move your export business forward. Next one is export management. That's the things, everything that has to do with managing the product from where it comes in as raw materials. Okay, what should you do? The packaging, which packaging will be best for this one? How should you do it? How do you write this? Your loading list, your packing list, your invoice, what should be done with it? Tracking, how do you track items? Everything under this export management, like managing the process of export, is also an opportunity. Just like I am here teaching you more about export, it's still under export management. It's still under export management. So you can learn about these things and then offer it as a service, and people pay you to learn these things as well. The next one is clearing and forwarding. So when goods have gotten over there, the export managers in Nigeria have packed the items, they have done the proper paperwork for it, they've stamped it with the airline officials, FAN, NDLEA, and the likes. then they've done the airway bill and everything, they've generated tracking ID for you. All that is under export management. Now when the goods land over there, what happens? There are some volume of goods that a customer cannot just walk to the airport and say, I want to claim my goods, this is my airway bill. You can't clear it because it's large volume. Um it's no longer personal load. It will be declared as commercial load. The country has to charge you VAT, they have to get tax, they have to get customs duties on that product. So an individual cannot go and clear it. So that's where clearing and forwarding comes in. So people over there, for borderless trade network women that are based in diaspora, you can start a clearing and forwarding agency. And usually getting the documentation to start it is not that hard, like it's not difficult. You can find out you can find out details concerning it, how to get it, how to start a freight agency, how to handle a brokerage. So when goods of certain volume or quantity comes into your province or your district, what should you do? You are the one that clears it out, and then you get your truck or you call truck drivers to then deliver these items. So clearing and forwarding is also like is essential. That's like the last end of logistics that then completes the entire operations. If this is not done properly, the goods will not get to the consumer or the buyers over there. So this is also an opportunity for Nigerians over there. There are a lot of Nigerians over there that have been eyeing the business, and they feel it's so difficult to start. You can just go to the home office or the what's it called over there in Canada. So there's usually a part of government there that handles businesses, and getting a business license over there is not usually very hard, especially in Canada and in the US. It's not usually very hard. They will even guide you through the process on what you are supposed to deliver, like what the procedure is, and everything you need to get started as either a broker or a clearing agent or a logistics person. Whatever you need, they will assist you with it, and you get started with it, and you offer that service. So when it comes to UK, Toronto, Canada, Dubai, there's some people that for years, like you can go to some certain provinces and it's just three Nigerians, and like they have become a principality. So there are a lot of lapses. There's a lot of gaps that other new people, like younger people over there, can fill in and make the process more efficient. So if you are based in diaspora, if you're based in Canada, other provinces apart from Toronto, there is an opportunity in export import for you with regards to clearing and forwarding. Then lastly is last mile delivery. So you've cleared out the goods, but the people who own it are not particularly in your exact area. So you need to sort out last mile delivery to them, whether it's getting a truck or getting a small vehicle or riders to dispatch it out. Just like here in Nigeria, that also works over there, and it pays handsomely well. So are you getting at this point, are you getting ideas? Let me see the comment section. Like which one really rings a bell for you and you're like, really, Ada, how come I never thought of it all this while? Okay, so next point, starting with little capital. How do you start? Adachintwa, please can I see, just so I get some sort of feedback, can I see what they are saying, or can you read out what they are saying in the comments for me?
Someone says her head is busting with ideas.
From who?
Okay. This is from Anu Utu. Um,
Okay.
yeah, some people are saying following. They're learning a lot.
Okay.
Um, yeah, doing great. They're excited to be here. Yeah, so they're following.
Okay.
So I yield the
So I'm
floor
taking
back
a
to you.
water break. Yes. So let's move back. Starting with little capital. How do you start? How do you start? So I've briefly spoken about grocery and personal shopping, how it works. So if you're just starting in that area, you basically go to the market or you get videos and pictures of different items that usually appeal to diaspora audience. You put it on your page, you put pricing, you talk about the benefits. So things like vegetables, things like spices, things like fish products like protein, all these fish, meats, periwinkles, sea products, seafood. Yes, from Nigeria. These things are usually in high demand over there. So later on, I'll be talking about products and every other thing, like which products are usually in high demand over there and how do I start. So let's get this sorted out first. So grocery and personal shopping, ensure that you carry them along, put pictures, put videos, and then let them know that so date, between this date and this date, you can place your orders or drop your shopping list and we will get these items for you and hand it over to reputable agents that will then get it delivered to you. Some of them might have their own agents already, but it's always very good if you have options for them. So it makes you credible and it positions you as an expert or someone who is trustworthy, like you're giving them options. So they don't just have only your own cargo agent. And some of them might have had negative experiences with their own cargo agent, so they might be open to your own cargo agent. That's the part where you earn from the export aspect of it. Because you're starting with little capital and you're just more of drop shipping kind of, the profit might not be much, but you're starting with little capital and you're just making money. As you start turning back the profit back into the business, it starts expanding, people start getting to know you better, and with that you get moving. So start working on your business name, make it something that is catchy, make it something that is easy for people to remember and also draws them to home. Like it's something that they can relate with, even though they are no longer in Nigeria. So think of something unique. It might be your name, it might be your children's name, or whatever that comes to your mind that relates with food, shopping, and exports. So put that in mind. Next thing is branding. How do you brand your business? You need to ensure that your business page online, you set it up and you optimize it. So learn bio optimization. What should you put in your highlights? What should you have in um your initial bio? How should you structure it? What are the keywords that people looking for your service will be searching for? Ensure these things are right there on your bio. So things like mile 12 market errands, things like Lagos Island, like all the, if you're just starting as maybe a student, a stay-at-home mom, or someone who just wants this as a side hustle, like you have a proper 9 to 5, or you just want another stream of income. When you are setting up that page, ensure that the popular markets that someone who is abroad but used to live in Nigeria can relate with. They always feel things are cheaper in this popular market. So ensure that you are putting it. For example, we have a community member here, I presume. Um, Mile 12 market woman. Yeah, she's a community member and she started with something like this. Right now she does exports, she delivers to people in Nigeria, she also delivers to people abroad, and it's working. Like the business is really doing well. So just the fact that a lot of people can relate with mile 12 market and that things are usually cheaper there, they always feel safer shopping from someone that gives them the assurance that we will go to mile 12 market for you. And they are seeing it on your page, they are seeing videos, they are seeing things, they are seeing pictures, they can see prices, updates, and everything. It's usually very good. It makes you credible, and it gives them a sense of home, like they are actually there with you. So what do you do next? You set up different offers for your market runs. So are you going to be running on commission basis? Like, I go to the market for you, you pay me so 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 commission. So when I started, I used to do 5% to 10%, depending on how much things you're getting. So if say I'm buying things worth 50,000 naira for you, 10% of 50,000 naira is 5,000 naira, and you get that. And there is also like a markup kind of thing, where you get things, you ensure that you're getting things from the cheapest source possible, and it is still quality. Bear that in mind. Cheapest source quality, cheapest source possible, but still quality. So you're getting it from either wholesalers or distributors right there in the market, or farmers. If it's like things like food stuff, you're getting it from people who buy directly from farmers, and you add a small markup to it, and then you're getting paid for it, and the person pays for you to deliver it to a cargo agent that they are comfortable with. Next one, pricing, just like I mentioned, commission basis or markup. Then are you going to do bundle kind of thing, where you put all the things that are needed for a certain soup or a certain meal, or different kind of things, like put a bundle. If it's all the ingredients required for egusi soup, you have it, and you tell them everything I'm going to put here will last you for about 3 months, and this is the price. This is the price for this egusi, this crayfish, this stockfish, this palm oil. Everything you need is going to be so 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 amount. I will go to the market for you, I will get it, and I'll deliver it to a credible agent, and within a week or two, you get it delivered to your doorstep wherever you are in the US. It's easy for them, and they see the value in it. So set up different offers, let people be able to pick up different offers. So brainstorm, think of what you can do, look at what other people that are already doing that business are currently working with, and see how you can improve on it, right? Next one, get cargo rates to different countries from different cargo agencies. So have at least two different cargo agents for each location. For example, when it comes to air freight, have two different credible cargo agencies. Ask for their rates, and also ask if they have commissions or referral bonuses for people who refer customers to them. So after you do market shopping for these people or procurement, then you send it down to them, and you get some sort of commission or bonus from it. So if this person has issues, you can always refer your customer to the other person. So get their rates, so that when a customer asks you to get this item, they ask you to get the different food stuff for them, and you have packed everything, and the weight is 10 kg. What does cargo company A charge for 10 kg? What does cargo company B charge for 10 kg? You should know it, so that when a customer knows that they have spent 300,000 naira on food stuff, they should also know how much they will be spending to get it delivered to them. It's just like when you're purchasing something and you want to order, you've seen a page that you really like their product, maybe banana bread, and you live on the mainland. You've seen their page, it's quite nice, you want to order, and you now see that they are in Aja. The bread you want to buy is maybe 2,500 naira, and to get a delivery from Aja to Ikorodu or Aja to Ikeja will cost you 3,000 or 4,000 naira. At the end of the day, you look at it that the delivery rate for this thing is even more than the product I want to buy. So you'll be like, abeg, maybe next time I'm going towards that area, I'll buy it. That's usually how it is for them as well. So you don't just want to convince them to just buy the food stuff from you. You also need to ensure that the other ends of the deal, they have an idea of how much they will be spending, like an exact amount on how much they'll be spending, so they can calculate everything it will cost them, everything that transaction will cost them. Are we following up to this point? Am I too fast? I hope I'm not too fast. Yes, so that's that for cargo rates. Ensure that you're getting cargo rates. Ensure you're getting from not just one person but several options so that you have your customers, when they order food stuff from you, they can actually choose. They pick, this person, will I have to pay clearing fee when he gets here? Does this person offer doorstep delivery, or I have to pick up from their own agents? That kind of thing. They want to have full details. So ensure you have asked all these questions from your cargo agent beforehand, so that before you close the deal with them, they are rest assured that you got it covered, you have it covered, you cover every end of the deal. And it's not at the point where they have now gotten some food stuff, they now discover that that food stuff is not allowed into their country. No, you should already be speaking with these cargo agencies to let them know that I want to buy this and that, which one is not allowed. So they tell you ahead of time, and you can now tell the customer and save them that extra expenses or wastage that they would have wasted money on for something they will buy, and then it will not be allowed. These things are super important. Then lastly, credibility. Because it's online business and they are not here with you, you need to gather as much videos and pictures as possible. So all these things are super essential. Next point, please. Next slide, please. We're fast running out of time. So raw food business owners, you already have a food business, you're already selling products, you're already selling palm oil or potato chips, plantain flour and the likes. Where is the money? Or you are interested or thinking of going into something like this. Where is the money for you? First one is product sales profits. Just like for someone who is drop shipping, you're making money from your profit of your product. So somebody says, I want to buy 2 kg stockfish, I want to buy 2 kg catfish, I want to buy dried periwinkles, I want to buy dried vegetables. At the end of these things, you're making profit from it. Then the next one is the cargo commission, which you have negotiated with the cargo agencies. You're also making money from it. So that's also one of the places that you can make money in food business. Then thirdly is sales on e-commerce platforms. E-commerce platforms like Jumia, Gigi. Then for those that are abroad, Amazon as well. I know some people will be like, Jumia, Gigi, how come? Yes, if you're a vendor on these places, not only Nigerians in Nigeria that use your service, there are Nigerians in diaspora that use Jumia and Gigi to buy things, and they put a Nigerian address, you deliver to these places, and from there they get it. Or they also order for their parents or relatives in Nigeria. So don't, when you're thinking of exports, don't just think of Amazon alone or Shopify or Etsy or eBay. Mm-mm. These Nigerian platforms as well are also going global. Like, they are reputable, they are credible, they've been in business for years. A lot of people trust them enough. So try as much as possible to also be on these platforms, especially Gigi. A lot of people undermine Gigi. I get a lot of things from Gigi. Like, I look at it, I see the person's number or their physical address, and I copy it out, I send someone to go and get this item from them. So don't, um as long as it's an e-commerce platform and you can navigate your way and get your products there, put your products there. Even if you feel no sales is coming immediately, just ensure you update your profile from time to time, update your prices, put enough pictures, put prices, ensure that that account is active. Don't just leave it like that. Same thing applies with Shopify, same thing applies with other platforms as well that are created by Nigerians, like e-commerce platforms by Nigerians. It's not only Nigerians living here that use it, people in diaspora also use this platform. Then for Amazon, there is a level that you need to get to before your business can be on Amazon. That is a separate topic entirely, because it requires structure, there's process to it, and we can't exhaust that topic here. But I usually tell people, exporting does not mean only selling on Amazon. You can be on Amazon and not be selling. There are some people who are not on Amazon and they are selling really well, while some people, they have shipped volumes, They have shipped tons of products to Amazon warehouse in the US, but they don't have visibility online on their own page, on their own website, or here in Nigeria, their Instagram page or Facebook. They are not drawing traffic, they are not pushing traffic. So if you're not pushing traffic, like your product is not popular in Nigeria, you now manage and get it on Amazon. Who will buy it there when you are not marketing it? Is when there is hype for your product here in Lagos, here in Nigeria, that people that have moved over there now see the need to use this thing. For example, Okomubanga oil or Ayola or Ola Ola. You get, these things already have name, like they already have repute here at home. So if you're not getting it right domestically as a product business owner, don't feel that there will be magic that you will do on Amazon. You need to ensure that your marketing, it has to be hot. You have to be applying different marketing strategies. Ensure that you're drawing at them as much attention as possible to your product here. Then when it is eventually on Amazon, you can now say, we are now on Amazon, oh, we are now in this store, we are now in this store, and people will now want to go. But if the product is not popular here, like domestically is not popular, when people see it there, they will not even know that it's a Naija product. They'll just look at it and say, oh, nice, and they walk by it. And your product is now on the stores, on the shelves, or online there, you're not getting returns from it. So it's better to actually be selling in naira, and people who are buying, like they're buying from you, they're buying abroad, they're buying in volumes, you are doing informal exports, and you're making sales, than for you to feel comfortable and relaxed, like, hey, I'm now on Amazon, I'm okay. You can be on Amazon, you spend a lot of money, and your products stay there for like a year or 6 months. It's not my prayer for anyone, but people have actually had this experience. When you are when you're in this business, you meet with a lot of, as an exporter, you meet with a lot of vendors, you meet with a lot of business product owners, and they share their experiences. They tell you, you can also share experiences and teach them. You also learn from them. So I'm just telling you, I'm not discouraging you, but do it step by step. Do it step by step. Do not skip out any level of intentionality, of visibility, of structure that you need to put into your product. Get it right from the beginning, and when you get to those levels, you will actually enjoy and reap the benefits thereof. Then thirdly, is this the third or fourth one? One, two, three, four. Four. Affiliate referrals for service business. So if you're going to go into service, you have products as well, and you also have like kind of service, and you put this service online. You can make money from affiliates, like people referring you. It's just like people use your service or people buy your products, and then they now tell people, they tell others about it. So that's also, you also get money from it. Someone gets a product, maybe they come home to Nigeria, they eat, they purchase your chips or eat something, and they move over there, they tell people. From there, you can now start getting affiliates, you can start getting referrals from people who have used your service or use your business, so, or use your product rather. So there is money in it, but again, it's still linked to visibility online. Next one, revenue from distributors. So you've, at this point, your business has become so good that people here in Nigeria talk about it, people over there also want it, and then you reach out to, in fact, in some cases, I've seen people over there reach out to them that, I'm based in Maryland, USA. I would like to be a distributor for your product. Like, people are demanding for your product here. Can I be your distributor? You did not even know anything about export. Oh. They just told you that, I'm here. I want to distribute this thing for you. There's a brand like that I know, that her brand was so good. It's I don't know if the Igbo people here know what Ajumbise is. It's like a wrap of different leaves and vegetables that they boil for new moms after they give birth. You drink it to detoxify and everything. So the raw form in Nigeria is like leaf that is like a wrap, what Yoruba people call oshuka. So usually This is usually in demand by a lot of pregnant nursing mothers, people who just gave birth. Then for some people who are looking for pregnancy, there is a time they prescribe it. This lady turned it into tea bags. Like she processed it, she blended these vegetables and leaves and everything and roots and turned it into tea bags. And people in Lagos were ordering it. There were distributors across Nigeria. She had gotten the structure and everything right from Nigeria, to the extent that people over there were now looking for it. And then they started reaching out to her. Like, if you can get this thing to my state here in the US or here in Canada or here in the UK, I can actively help you distribute it. So there's like there's money in it. That's when people start asking, where is the money in this thing? Where is the money in this thing? There is money in it. It's just for you to sit down, think properly, work with someone who is in the business, and do your own research as well and put in the work, and you will get it. You will definitely get it. So I've given two, three, four, five um 5 ways that you can make money when you are looking at raw food business distribution. So target audience, who should you be targeting? Who should you be targeting online? Do go next slide, please. Thank you. Aha. So we have individuals in Nigeria. Your domestic market is super important in exports. You cannot rule it out. Demand here can also lead to escalated demand over there. Then you should look at stores abroad. You should look at individual customers abroad. Some people do not like to buy things from stores over there. They like to buy from the home country and actually pay to get it over there. Why? They feel the stores usually buy in large volume and they might not sell on time. So they feel these items that are in the stores are not so fresh. Like some people complain that the melon, spices, crayfish, and fish that they get from stores has stale taste or things like that. So they usually prefer to just shop from home and pay for it to be delivered to them over there. So you will still be targeting individuals abroad. You target stores as well. You target distributors. Some people are distributors from home. They stock a lot of products. They also set up a kind of branch over there and they start selling these products for you. They make their own profit. You make your own profit as well. Next is e-commerce stores. Amazon, eBay, Etsy. For this, you would need contacts of residents or people over there to help you get the structure set up. There are also organizations in Nigeria that promise or help you get everything done to eventually get on Amazon. But I usually advise that you try and also have a contact over there that will make everything seamless and easier for you. Then African food restaurants abroad, you should also be targeting these people because they use a lot of Nigerian food stuff. It goes without saying because they're cooking African food. Then caterers in diaspora as well. So restaurants are different from caterers when it comes to business abroad. There are people who are event caterers. They work from home. So whenever there are like Nigerian parties over there or events that are African themed, people contact them and they cook and they deliver over there and they're making their money. I don't know if you've seen videos trending online where there is one like Amala woman that's always very nicely dressed and she's turning Amala at a Nigerian party in the UK and everything. So these people usually buy a lot of Nigerian food stuff and they buy in bulk, they buy from home, they keep it in their house so that when jobs like that, when catering jobs come, they use their food stuff to get it done and they make their cool money. Finally, family and friends relocating. Because they are relocating, they also want to carry some foodstuff along with them. So you should be targeting people like this as well. We've successfully come to the end of the first half of this program. So if you have questions, please ensure that you note them down. If you have comments, reviews. Keep them coming just to encourage us, just to keep me going. So let's move to the second part. Let's move to the second part. Modes of exports. Modes of exports. So the exporting works in two ways, either by air or by sea. So I'm going to break it down. For air freight is when you send goods by air, by through the airplanes, cargo planes of the different airlines. There is frozen or cold air freight, and there is dry air cargo or air freight. How does it work? We'll talk about it in the next slide. Then there is sea freight. So first one, air freight, second one, sea freight. Air freight is usually faster, sea freight is slower but cheaper. So air freight is faster but expensive, sea freight is cheaper but slower, takes more time. So air freight, for air freight you can send dry things like egusi, like ogbono, like crayfish, ginger, turmeric, spices, the garri, different things, yam flour and the likes. All these Nigerian staple foods that we use for swallow, we use for soups, we use for spices, you can send it through air cargo. The duration is typically between 3 to 20 days. So if you are doing express air freight, within 3 to 7 days you will get these items. Express usually works with cargo lines, like cargo carriers like DHL, UPS, FedEx. They are usually very fast, they cost more, but immediately they move. While the ones that take longer, cargo consolidation with Air France, KLM, Delta and the likes, Turkish Airlines, they usually take longer because they have to stop at their home country. So if you're sending cargo through Air France, it has to stop in Paris. If you're taking Turkish, it stops in Turkey. If you're taking what's it called, Lufthansa, it stops in South Africa. So some of these cargo planes, cargo carriers, they take goods that will stop over in their home country and that's destination abroad, meaning that the time it will take to get there, if it's DHL that is just direct, if DHL is flying to Canada, they are flying directly to Canada. If at all they are stopping in any country, they are moving like almost immediately or the next day. But the ones that are consolidated cargo, if they are stopping in France, they might take like 3 days to offload the ones in France, rest a bit or change or do different things, and then before they now fly it into the US. So at the end of the day, the process from Nigeria for it to land over there in US is taking like a week. That's 7 days. And then because the volume is usually a lot, customs usually take their time to check these items again. Takes about 2 to 3 days as well. And then they now clear it. When it is custom cleared, the agent over there now has to sort out. So they sort out this one. This one is going to Toronto. Okay, Toronto goods are here. This one is going to Ottawa. The Ottawa goods are here. This one is going to Winnipeg. This one is going to Calgary, Edmonton, like that, like that. So that's how it usually works. So when you get cargo customers that tell you, I need to buy this, but I need it to be delivered within like 5 days, or I have an upcoming event and I want it to be delivered 5 days. You know that you cannot use console for them because console will take 10 to 20 working days. That's already like 3 weeks to 4 weeks already. Except in a case where you've had clear assurance from the agent that this particular shipment in this airline is going direct, then you can tell them it's only going to take a week. So you give or take 7 to 10 business days, they will get it. So you have to also be sure that you are giving them specific timeline so that there will not be disappointment or negative feedback because of wrong communication or miscommunication. So please and please always ensure that you have duration figured out. Always ask questions. When is this thing going to get there? How long does it take for customs to clear it? How long does it take for your freight forwarders over there to deliver it, please ask this question so that you give the customers a definite timeline, and at the end of the day there will not be miscommunication or disappointment. Next one is frozen cargo, frozen or cold cargo. How does it work? Please pardon me, I need to take a water break. So frozen or cold cargo, how does it work? It's usually things like fresh items, fresh snails, fresh vegetables. I would really have loved, it's supposed to play out as a video. It's supposed to play out. The next slide, please. So because it can play out as video, you will get the replay. You will get the replay and also the slides as well, where you can see this thing play out. So for the next one, frozen, air freight, frozen or cold cargo, you can send things like frozen snails, you can send fresh vegetables, you can send periwinkles, different items, pap, even soups. But when you're using frozen cargo, because meat is not really allowed into most of these countries, you will have to ensure that you do not use meat to cook these soups or sauce that you are sending. So people who send ayamase sauce, Ada, can you still hear me? Am I still audible, ma? Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. So things like pepper mix, pepper sauce, ayamase sauce, ofada sauce, ofada oil, some kind of soup, banga paste, snails, you can send it through frozen or cold cargo. Then vegetables and fruits in season. Some fruits like between 2 months ago to this month, pear has been in season. When it's usually like cherry agbalumo season, some people abroad usually like it, so it's usually frozen cargo that we use to send it. So any fruit in season that is allowed, we can send it. Then a lot of the snails, a lot of periwinkles, a lot of vegetables like Nigerian vegetables, you send it through frozen cargo. Next slide, please. So this is how it's usually packed. It has to be packed in these styrofoam boxes keeps it that keeps it keeps the temperature controlled. So by the time it gets there, it's still in very good state, and it takes 3 to 5 days. So it's pretty much faster than the dry cargo. The next slide that you're seeing right here is sea cargo. This is the one where you load goods in container and it goes through the shipping line. And most times, because of the port process in Nigeria, it takes almost like 2 to sometimes as much as 6 weeks for everything clearing, documentation, and all the stampings that needs to be done at Apapa port. So month one, the load is still in Apapa. That's why this thing usually takes long. First month is still in Apapa, then it takes 6 to 8 weeks on sea because it's moving from one port to the other before it then gets there, customs clearance and everything, then sorting out to individuals in different destinations. So sea cargo takes longer, but it is cheaper. So when you're packing items as a food business exporter, as a food business owner, or an aspiring food exporter, if you're going to be packing things for sea cargo, please ensure that there are things that have a very, very long shelf life. Ensure that there are things that have very long shelf life so that no matter how long it takes, within 3 to 4 months, by the time it gets there, it's still in good condition, and these people can still even sell it or use it if they are consuming it for personal use. Then we've sorted out air cargo, we've sorted out sea cargo, the duration and everything. So how do you do it? What do you do when you now get orders before you deliver it? What should you do? First, we're looking at pre-delivery. What happens before delivery to the agents or delivery to the customers over there? Firstly is good products. You need to have a good product. Like my people always say, better soup na money kill am, and that a good product doesn't take time to sell, abi. I can't remember, but there's something about a good product sells itself. So when you have a good product, there will always be demand for it. Whether it's here in Nigeria, people who are taking it here in Nigeria will recommend it to even people in diaspora. And the hype that it is getting online with right marketing, you get. Yes, thank you, Ada. Afioma Nilo onwe ya. Yes, that's Igbo. Like for a good product sells itself. You don't need to do a lot of explanation or marketing to convince people. They see it and they know that this thing is worth it, so they buy it. So ensure that you're doing proper packaging, you're selecting things well. If they are selling it anyhow in Nigeria, if this thing is like this and you are targeting people in diaspora, find things that you can do that will make it easier, better, or more valuable. So for example, the average beans that you get from the market, it usually has dirt in it. So by the time you select this thing and you packed it, neatly picked beans, people are even selling peeled beans. So it's already peeled. What you just need to do is put it in water and use it for your akara or moi moi. People in diaspora will buy this thing. Someone in Nigeria might not really buy it, but people in diaspora is saving them time. They've just done a 12-hour shift and they feel like eating something from Nigeria. Do you think they now want to start picking beans, selecting beans, and trying to wash it? No. If it's a good product, it's already peeled, it's already neatly picked. They just take it from pack, do what they need to do, and use it. In fact, I have one of my vendors that now has moi moi mix. It's already blended, powdered beans. There's crayfish in one side. There's different things like pepper mix as well, and it is dried form, meaning that it has close to 12 months shelf life. It's a good product. It will definitely do well in the export market. It will definitely do well. People who are thinking of moi moi and they don't have that kind of time, they don't even need to blend anything again. Just mix warm water with it and use it. Same thing with ayamase sauce for people over there. Pepper mix for ewa going. Different things. Bleached palm oil. So if you're thinking of ideas that you can use, plantain flour. Everybody is trying to eat healthy because of all the gluten kind of free. They're trying to eat gluten free products. They are trying to take things that are more natural because almost everything they are eating over there is processed and has already been manipulated somehow. So things from Nigeria that are cleaned, saves time, properly packaged, well marketed, it gets to them, they see it, they like it, they buy it from you. So these are things that you need to sort out pre-delivery. So good product, proper marketing, proper packaging, then get a good agent. Because you can have all this and you give the product to an agent that doesn't know what he is doing or is not a person of integrity, and then at the end of the day they spoil the entire transaction for you and it leaves a sour taste in the mouth of the customer. So you don't want to do this. Get good agents. After you've gotten good product and you've gotten all these other things right, get a good agent. Then the next thing is a detailed packing list. If you get good agents, some of us, I'm guilty of it sometimes, or before I worked out structure for this business. There are times when, because of the large volume of things that come on, goods tend to mix up. So what happens on the part of you, the vendor, that this person trusted with money to buy these things, please have a detailed packing list so that no matter what happens, customs did this, customs checked, they scattered the load, they did this and that, because you've labeled their names on every item they bought, it will be easy to get all their items back again. So, for example, somebody bought crayfish from you, put that person's name on that Ziploc pack of crayfish. If it's a carton of catfish, put that person's name on the catfish. If it's a carton of noodles, put the person's name on the noodles. Even for sea freight, we do that right now. No matter how many bags you have, your name has to be on each bag. At the end of the day, we now have a packing list. So garri, this person brought 10 bags of garri. Out of the 10 bags of garri, 5 is 5 kg, 2 is 3 kg, 1 is 2 kg, 1 is 0.5 kg in 3 places. You have to put all these things. Detail, attention to details is very important in exports for your packing list and your invoice. So the customer has a very clear picture of what they are expecting. Even though you've done videos, you've done pictures, you've sent it to them that this is your item, or we have bought it to, still have a detailed packing list. As you're giving it, as you're sending an e-copy to the customer over there, the buyer, also give that to the agents as well, so they know that this is what this person delivered to us. Not that when the load has gotten over there and there's some sort of mix up because customs store some bags and after checking they didn't apportion it properly again, you can still say, this is how I packed this for this person, this is how I packed this is how I packed this, and they can get everything in order. So all this happens at the pre-delivery stage. Get it right and you are good to go. Then one of sidebar that is super important is, in this pre-delivery stage, marketing is important. You cannot put away visibility. Online visibility, you have to get it. Whether you are doing it yourself or you outsource it, you have to get it right. So I said in my slide that online visibility is essential for every export business now. It is super essential. You have to, don't say all these online things, I cannot do it jare, I'm not used to it, I'm not doing this. Try and remove excuses. Like, the requirement is the requirement, like OBA will say. The requirement is the requirement, it is required, so try and get it done. Either you're getting it done yourself, you're learning how to do it yourself, or you will pay it, you will pay for people that will do it. But either ways, you have to be visible online. Is it clear at this point? Let me pause a bit to allow it sink in. You have to be visible online. Whether you are doing it yourself, if you cannot do it yourself, you have to pay someone to do it for you. So you do it yourself, you learn how to do it, or you outsource. But either ways, online visibility is essential. So delivery period, what do you do? Delivery period. Next slide, please. What do you do during delivery? So you've given the items to the agents. What you have to do next is to follow up with the agency while the goods are in transit and keep the client abroad informed. Some of them, you give them tracking ID, but they are super busy. They will still come back to ask you, where is this item now? I've not gotten it, I've not been called. So ensure that you're also getting tracking number. Whether it's DHL, whether it's cargo agencies, they always give out tracking ID, so you can track the goods to know where it is at every point in time, so that you'll have detailed information and good conversation going on with the customer. So next point is post delivery. What happens after they have delivered the items and the customer has gotten it? So you follow up with the clients. You're just starting the business, right? Even after, when you start getting volume, you might not be able to maintain it, but get people to do this for you or try and work on it yourself. So you follow up with the client to get feedback on the product. Oh, hello sir, hello ma, you got the item delivered 2 days ago, how is it, have you used it, this and this and this is how to use it. So some people get it, but because it's been so long that they lived in Nigeria, they might not remember the recipes, they might not remember how to do it again. So follow up with them. Ask them, did they get it in good condition? Was the box scratched in any way? Did anything spill? You All these questions that you ask helps you, so that next time you know what to do and what not to do. So if you've packed this thing in a glass jar, if you've packed your sauce, maybe it's a pepper mix or something, you've packed it in a glass jar and the person said yes, they got it, but some of the oil was spilling, next time you think of something else to do to ensure that it doesn't spill. If it was in a ziploc pouch and you zipped it and they got it, but they said, this thing had spilled a little, next time you know that you should either use tape to seal it again or use a sealing machine. And the sealing machine is not expensive. The basic one that you get, a heat machine, is between 8,000 naira to 15,000 naira, because ensuring that things are spill proof is very, very important in export. So even after the goods have gotten to the customer, your job is not done. You have to ensure that they got it in good condition and they were happy, like they are happy with it. So post delivery, what else would you do to help maintain good relationship? Give the customer tips on the best ways to preserve the food stuff. So if it is egusi, they have gotten it, what should they do to it? Should they keep it in a dry place or should they put it in their fridge? If it is beans, are they supposed to open it and pour it into another container? Tell them what to do to it, just so that you stay top of mind. After this thing finishes, when it's exhausted, the customer can still come back to you. When they need things relating to food stuff or anything, you come top of mind because you've proven to be very helpful. Even after the transaction was over, you still cared enough to ask them questions about the package. So all these things help you to maintain good after service relationship with the customer. The next slide. So we've talked about pre-delivery, we've talked about during the delivery process, we've talked about post-delivery. How do you market? How do you market these items? So I'll quickly be running through this. I have a very detailed video on this marketing mix on my page, where you can go and watch it for a very detailed breakdown of it. So how do you market this product for export? What are the essential things you should be doing? First, your products. Tell us the key things about this product. Tell us the unique thing about the product. Have product pictures, professional product pictures if you're going into export, because we see with our eyes before we eat first. Even though it is raw food stuff, we still look at it first. If you have very good graphics design team or someone, let them do something that is really nice for you. Your flyers, everything concerning the business, it should be in such a way that it gives the products an edge. When the product stands, it stands out because they see it first online, meaning that you need to invest in good product photography. And there are ways around it. You can learn it yourself. You can check YouTube. You can learn tips on how you should photograph products by yourself. And if you cannot do it yourself, just like I said earlier on, you pay an expert. There are people who are product photographers. They will come with their gadgets and everything. They will set up and snap the pictures of the products well for you. Then places that you should be targeting in your marketing adverts. So at this point, I think I do not need to tell you anymore. I don't need to announce it that you will be doing sponsored adverts. Yes, you will give Facebook or Instagram your money to show your products to people in other places abroad. So how should you be targeting these places? Look for specific areas that are geographical areas that have more Nigerian or African population. So off the top of my head, Houston, Texas, Maryland, USA, California, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, Chicago. Whenever you are promoting Instagram videos or from Facebook, target these locations. These are locations that are Nigerian community. Like Houston is like the 37th state of Nigeria, because they always say there are a lot of Nigerians over there. So New York, Houston, these places that I've mentioned, try and target those locations. So when you're promoting a post from Facebook, there's usually like geographical section where you can put in key locations that you want people in those locations to see it. Now you niche further down. It's not just everyone in New York that you want to see these things. Who are the people in New York that should be seeing this thing? So frequent flyers. What else? Interests that you should be putting. Interests that are linked with Nigeria. things like music that is linked with Nigeria, like Burna Boy music. When you are on Facebook, when you are trying to promote an advert from Facebook Manager, when you're trying to promote, you will see interest, you will see entrepreneurs, stay at home moms, different kind of things like that. You will see music as well. So you can put Burna Boy music. Anybody that is listening to Burna Boy will most likely be a Nigerian. So you can put Afrobeat, you can put things like jollof rice. If there is a popular Nigerian food content creator, let's say um Naija Ife's kitchen or Naija kitchen chef or something, one of these top chefs, they will already be in the interest section of Facebook, because a lot of Nigerian moms or Nigerian women like to look at recipes from them. Yes, Sisi Yemi, the Diary of a Nigerian kitchen lover, a very fair woman like this. She does amazing recipes. So these people are popular. They have huge following, and most of their followers are Nigerians. And these Nigerians will buy Nigerian food, and you are a Nigerian food exporter. Do you understand? So you're targeting Houston, and you're targeting people in Houston that follow Sisi Yemi. Do you get it now? You're targeting people in Maryland that follow Nigeria Diary of a Kitchen Lover or Ife's Kitchen. Do you understand? So your interest when you are promoting, when you're marketing it, are the things that will draw in the kind of people that are most likely to purchase this thing, because they know this food stuff. So that's how to run sponsored adverts targeting places with Nigerian buyers in mind. So Afrobeats as well, um, blogs that have huge following. So sometimes when I check Facebook, when I want to run ads, I see things like Gist Lover. You see that a lot of Nigerian population follow Gist Lover, Insta blog. What's the other guy? Tunde Ednut. So target these things, put these things in your interest. Then pricing, people usually ask, should I price my things in naira or should I price it in dollars? If they are still buying it from Nigeria, it should be in naira. If your foodstuff has successfully passed, it has crossed border and is now there, you can price it in dollars. When you are pricing it in dollars, ensure that all the overhead expenditures, all the expenses that compounded and helped you, like at the end of the day, the landing cost, you put it into place. Then you put in mind how much other products that are in this same category are sold for that same size. That's one of the things you should consider when it comes to pricing. So if it's in Nigeria, if it's still in Nigeria, you price it in naira. If it's already over there, you price it in dollars or whatever the currency of that country is. Then fourth one, promotion. Promote extensively, cross promote. If you're more used to Twitter, use Twitter. If you're used to Facebook, use Facebook. If you're chatty a lot on WhatsApp and you have people who have people abroad, or you have contact of people who are there, also promote on WhatsApp. Don't let your WhatsApp just be private. Like, you should have a WhatsApp business line that you can talk about while you have your private business line. So cross promote. Your content should go across all areas. You don't know which one will blow. Shey you get. So try and put your items, your food stuff, talk about your food stuff. If there is an upcoming sales, talk about it. If frozen cargo is going to be September 23rd, talk about it, that frozen cargo is coming up. Oh, I have snails. If you see this kind of snails that I got, jumbo snails, very clean, this and this and that. When you buy the jumbo snails, you buy so quantity of jumbo snails, I will dash you 2 packs of roasted peanuts, groundnuts. Or when you buy roasted snails, you get a pack of crayfish. When you buy this, you get this. Like, promote. Think of strategic promotional means to get your things in the faces of people. Then also look at things that you can do to draw in traffic. Look at things that you can do to draw in traffic. Strategic commenting on pages that people in diaspora usually follow. Diary of a Naija Girl, Insta blog, Gist Lover, like I said. promote, position yourself uniquely on this place. Then people and partnerships, you can't rule out people. Every business has to do with people. There is no business without contacts. And exporting is one kind of business that you need everybody, like you need a lot of people to get exporting done. So speak out, speak out. If you're targeting your product in a certain store abroad, ask people who live there, what is the requirement to be in this store, so that don't just think it is out of the world. There's a Nigerian what's the story? Ebano in Canada. There are two actually right now. I'm looking at ways that I can get some of our products into Ebano. So I've been asking. I'm not keeping quiet. I've been asking. That's the same way I talk for some of my vendors. For some people that I look at their product and I say, wow, like I saw a product that is capsules, and that capsule was made from bitter kola nuts, like bitter kola. They grinded it and they turned it into capsule, and it has a lot of health benefits. I'm looking at place. If I see any place that this thing will be very good there, I would recommend this person. So always speak out, talk to people, negotiate partnerships, and don't always feel you're going to be the only one that will. Everybody will profit definitely. That this person, I usually tell people, when you are contacting people abroad to do things for you, don't just feel they should do it as a favor for you. Nobody owes you anything. So if somebody is going to be your distributor abroad, definitely they're going to be taking, they should have something that they're making from it. They should have a profit that they're getting from it. So think strategically, but think with people in mind. Think of partnerships, widen your horizon. Don't just feel because you are here you have to travel to the UK before your products can be there. It doesn't have to work that way. That lady's herbal drink, that lady's adrun biseti is now in stores in Canada, US, UK right now as we're speaking. This bitter kola tablet, capsule rather, is already going overseas. Is in the US now. There's a distributor there. There's a distributor for it. So some people are making moves silently, like you're not hearing about it because you most likely have not thought about it in that line. So while you're making marketing moves online, there are still some negotiations that you have to do offline, and you have to think of it that everybody goes home happy. You should be making a profit from it, but because it's going abroad does not mean that it has to be 100% profit. If it's 30% profit and the person is getting 70%, you're selling well, because you're selling at more volumes. You're saying you're not going to sell just 10 kg or 20 kg. They are going to be doing 500 kg at a stretch, 100 kg, 1 ton. And that's a win-win for you because you are doing more volume but at lower profit. By the time you multiply your 30% interest per box by 1000 kg, you know how much it's giving you at a stretch. So think of these things and ensure that you market, cross promote. A detailed video on this effective marketing mix for profitable exports is on my Instagram page. You can check it out later on. Next slide, please, Ada. I'm trying to rush my words because we're fast spent on time. We've gone really this. Wow. So effective marketing mix. Still on effective marketing mix, what should you be doing? Page readiness. Ensure your page is ready. Like I said earlier on, make sure that you get good videos, make sure you get pictures, put pricing, put price. I hope you people have moved. You have realized that DM for price is not good though. If you are still doing it, stop it. Put your price there so that people can make a decision. Put your price there. Then promote, cross promote. I mentioned that already. Run sponsored ads, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Learn on YouTube. Learn how should you be targeting adverts. How should you be targeting? What should you be putting in adverts? If you cannot do it yourself, pay someone to do it for you. Influencer marketing, yes. when you're targeting people abroad, a lot of them are either on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, and then YouTube. They're always watching, they're creating content. Some of them, when they move abroad, they start becoming YouTubers. So their focus goes more to YouTube. So are there YouTube influencers that you can give some of your food stuff to, and they should give you reviews? Are there Nigerian influencers too, mini influencers or at your level that you can afford? And ensure that they are influencers, that their audience are people in your ideal customer range. So they should, if you're targeting people that are moms, because you are doing food stuff, you are targeting older population. You are not targeting 25 and below. What you're targeting should be 25 to 65. So target influencers or people, celebrities who have this kind of audience, not not influencers that have more of the younger population or students as their followers. So influencer marketing works well if you use the right influencers that actually have influence over their people, and they have genuine people who love them enough and trust their word for what it means. So please and please target target influencers. If you cannot start with influencer marketing, then work on your own, the factors that you can control, work on them. Lastly, customer retention. Strategies for customer retention. I mentioned ensuring that even after delivery, you keep in contact with these people, you ensure that you have their interest at heart, you are promoting value, you're giving them reasons to keep your brand name in their mind. Then lastly, offline visibility. Go for events. If there is going to be conferences, exhibitions, try and attend. If there is going to be trade promotion events by NEPC, Afrexim Bank, and the likes, even Borderless Trade Network, they usually have a lot of events that are targeted towards exporting. So try and also be visible offline. Go for events, network with people, talk about your business. Even when it's paid, please do it. Please do it. So you never can tell who you will meet in any of these events that will pick your products and move it to the next level for you. People are going for conferences and trade fairs in Mexico now, in what's it called? African countries, also in the US. And where does this contact come from? Is when they go for events here in Nigeria, they come across people that then recommend them to those other events outside, those other trade fairs, promotional events, and the like. So do not limit your business. As much as possible, free and paid, go for these events, the ones that your business can afford, go for them. And with all the things that you have done, you do your work well, you show up consistently, and you have the right products, God will give you the necessary visibility and promote you to even levels that you do not know. Like, when I tell people this business that I've managed is less than 5 years, they are usually in awe. Like, this business started with just Instagram. It started with just Instagram. And currently we are doing nothing less than 36 tons monthly. Every month we send a minimum of 2 containers to the US and Canada. And who would have known? I still remember the first customer we had was goods worth 100,000 naira. I don't think it's even up to 100,000 naira. More of egusi, ogbono, crayfish, and these bigger crayfish. Yeah, prawns. That was what we did for this person in Canada, and she was just starting out her own catering business there. So from there, recommendations, referrals started coming in. You never can tell. Do not limit any social media platform and the power of a good product and good customer service. So put in your best, be visible online, make efforts offline as well, and sky is your starting point. There's millions in exports. If you get it right, there is millions to be made. I'm a living testimony. The company is not, like, sometimes we we don't even run ads. It has gotten to a stage where we don't run ads. We don't run ads and we fill up containers and make millions from it. So you might not start at that level first. Life is in stages. But where you are now, be be of good courage, do your best, be disciplined, put in the work, and you will surely get there. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for moving up to this point. Thank you for staying. Thank you for staying true to this end. Ada, please, next slide. Next slide. So we are done. We're done. Thank you. So I will open the floor now for you all to ask your questions, and then we'll round up. Over to you, Ada Chintwa.
Thank you so much, Adora. That was super, super, super packed. I have learned a lot. I've really, really gathered so many points. And because we've really eaten into time and we just have 30 minutes left for questions, I'm just going to go straight into a few questions that people have already asked.
Okay.
But I must mention, please, if you have questions, you can drop them in the comment section. We are taking questions right now. If you have comments, just keep them coming. I can already see some here, and I'm taking note of them. Please keep them coming, okay?
Okay.
Thank you all so much for the encouragement. We can feel the love already. There's so many people saying, "Well done, Adora. Thank you,
Thank
BTM.
you.
Amazing
Thank you.
content." Thank you all. We are glad you are taking up so much. The very last point, Adora, that I want you to touch will be on the next steps. So they've taken all this, but how can they plug in the next steps? But that's the final thing you'd say before we close for the night. But
Okay.
before we get to that point, I had asked some questions earlier. What happens when the product goes in for quality test and it doesn't pass the quality test? What happens? You get to send another product, and then how do you do this quality control? How do you put quality control measures to ensure that this product meets the standard of the client's demand? So let's start from there and then proceed to the other questions that we have lined up.
Okay, for quality test, most times, if it's usually when it's going to organizations over there. So usually they send their specification before you even send the sample. So if it's a very big contract, especially when it's going through sea freight, and you know that it will take long before it gets there, one of the best things to do is to reach out to exports export facilities. There is a testing center with NAFDAC here in Lagos, Nigeria, and they can test the samples of your products. That's for major deals. But for others, like maybe it's usually for things that are flour products or liquids, maybe palm oil, shea butter oil, coconut oil, and the likes. They need to test it for some impurities and things like that. But for our local food, maybe yam flour, plantain flour, and the likes, there are usually no strict quality checks like that. The quality checks are things you can do on your own, like ensuring that right from scratch, the yams that they used are very good yams. They are not yams that maybe are already going bad and things like
Mm,
that. Ensuring that there is minimal, like there's no sand particles in the process when it comes to blending as well, when it comes to packaging, minimal contamination. So those are checks that you on your own can do from your end. But if it comes to liquids and the likes, then you can take it to laboratories that then test it to be sure that there are no impurities and that it meets the quality check that they want before you send the samples. But those things have to also be in their agreements as well. Usually, if they are very serious buyers, for them to have gotten to that stage, they usually offer to pay for that testing. Even when it comes to samples, you are sending the sample, but they pay for it.
okay.
So the cost of the sample, I usually say you can give out the sample for free, but that DHL cost of sending it to those places, the buyer should pay for it. But if you have good faith that this deal is going to pull through, you might just want to use that as a show of good faith towards them as well. You pay for it, they get it, they test it, and you proceed.
Okay, because thank God you talked on that part because that was going to be the very next question. Who bears the cost when sending these sample packages? Who is it on the part of the exporter or the client? But
The
it's a good
buyer,
thing. Okay,
the buyer
and
pays.
it's a good thing that you touched on it. Now, I have another question here. Is um I think it's still revolving around the sample question, but you've already touched it. So let me move to the WhatsApp group. People have been dropping. So someone asked the question, can we put our products on e-commerce platforms without NAFDAC?
Yes, you can.
Okay, do you want to elaborate on that? How does that
Okay.
work?
For Jumia and Gigi, you can put products there. But when it comes to some other e-commerce platforms, they might require that. So I know that Jumia, Gigi, they don't usually require NAFDAC. You can send your products there. But if it's physical stores like ShopRite, like stores over there, like stores abroad, they usually require that you have SON and NAFDAC because they also have to meet compliance regulations that
Mhm.
products that are on their shelves meet health requirements.
Okay. So someone is asking that it's NAFDAC is not so easy to get testing. It takes years sometimes. Is there a way you can help out with another testing facility so shipping can start as soon as possible?
I have contacts in Yaba, the NAFDAC center at Yaba. The last time I needed testings done for an import, actually import, it took less than 2 weeks. The results came out in less than 2 weeks.
And these centers, other than NAFDAC, are they acceptable? How do you rate their standardization across board? Because I think a lot of the times these other countries prefer NAFDAC because I mean it's the nationally accepted testing facility. So how then do you rate or rank the testing facilities? Are they acceptable? How do you know that okay, this particular facilities test results are accepted in this country or in these places?
It's usually NAFDAC or the I think NAQS. I can't remember the full name right now, but I will get the full details on that, and I'll pass it across to Adachinta. But most times they are always affiliated to governments. They are usually as affiliated to government. The private ones will not be accepted because they can't also tell how credible those results come from. But when it's from a government approved center, the products will be accepted.
So I think someone had a question. Let me see. So this one veers us off course from where we were headed. This person is asking, where is the highest demand for unripe plantain flour?
Unripe plantain flour. I would say any country that has an older population. So it's not just Nigerians that have it, that have the demand for these things. So Asian countries that already know the benefits of unripe plantain flour, some African countries, the UAE, then Canada, USA, and UK. But the demand now is from more of African older age group and the Asian age groups. So people over there that request for it usually buy it and put it in stores, African stores or Asian stores.
So that means we're looking at where there is a high population of African natives and Asians on the higher age brackets, the older generation.
Yeah, because of their watching their weight, calorie intake, and diabetes, kind of.
Okay, so the we want to touch a bit on the directory because that's the next question that a lot of people are bringing in now. They want to know about the suppliers, the warehousing details, people they can work with. We've made mention of the testing facility. Someone is talking about the FDA. So they want to know, would all of these be in the directory that they are going to receive? And then in the same vein, someone is also asking, um, can the video of the effective marketing mix be sent to our email or WhatsApp group so that they have all of this in a folder that is easily accessible?
Okay. The link to the replay of that one is on my Instagram, so you can get the link and embed it in the replay for them. The contact directory, FDA is not there.
Okay.
It's not a service I offer at this level. So it's a higher package if you need that. Then the testing facility, I will add that to the document before I give it to Adachintua. Then suppliers, warehousing, and every other thing like clearing over there. Once you have an agent over here, the agent usually has a clearance officer that is already affiliated to him. So if I give you the contact of a UK agent based in Nigeria, they already have an agent, a clearing agent in UK that they've been working with. So you don't need to start sourcing for a clearing agent in Canada or USA again. Once you have gotten a verified contact in Nigeria, you should not worry about that end of the deal. And those contacts, yes, those contacts are in the directory that I will be sharing.
Okay. So Topstar, I think that answers your question because she's so pressing. She says that she has about 4 products and she's ready to test, and she would really appreciate getting the contact as soon as possible, which is amazing. Um, Please, where is the highest demand for frozen food, frozen seafood?
Okay. Currently, I have experience with US and with 2 provinces in Canada. So, states across USA, we do every 2 weeks, and then Canada as well every 2 weeks. So, it's usually every fortnight, Mondays and Tuesdays. So, we did a week ago. The next one should be September 27th and 28th. So, I have experience. I will speak from my own experience. US and Canada for now. That's the locations that I can handle the delivery for and advise you on how to send products there. So US and then Calgary, Canada, and Toronto, Canada.
Okay. So, just as a way to follow up this conversation, aside from, say, your own personal experience, um, are there platforms where people can go and research for um, where goods are in high demand so that we can have a broader horizon beyond your own personal experience? Are there platforms you can recommend to say, okay, in the course of my experience, I've also come across a few platforms that I know that people can use to rate demands for certain products from Nigeria. Yeah,
Okay, there is ITC, it's Intrasend, if I'm right.
yeah,
Intrasend.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll also send I will add that link. Ada should also have that link as well. But
yeah.
it's
I do.
it's called ITC. They have very up to date data concerning export statistics.
So,
Then Google will also link you to sites that can help you with that.
all right, thank you. So, let me see if there are any other questions, and if there are none, I think that it is safe for us to delve into that next steps that we spoke about earlier. What are the next steps? Where can one plug into as a place to begin? Because the journey seems long, but what are the, like to say, okay, now with this information that you have, start from here.
Okay. Um if Am I speaking to a larger population of people who already have products or people who are
So
starting without products?
generally, this is foodstuff exporting. So it's possible that they are dealing with raw foodstuff, maybe not necessarily something that they already have, something they might need to source from the open market, or get suppliers, which is very well where the directory you'll be providing would come in handy. So they can always use that directory as a first port of call to source for suppliers and the rest of it.
Okay. So, first of all, next plan, you go through this course again, this video again. I usually recommend that you watch videos again because as you go through it, you have more plans and thoughts come to you, ideas and strategies to implement. Then, secondly, the closest market to you, you have to go there to source for pictures and videos. Everyone goes to the market to shop for items for their own use. So I usually advise that as you go shopping, you take pictures, you take videos. This will form your primary content that you will start with. If you do not already have a page, I advise that the next step is for you to now create a page and start posting these pictures that for people in diaspora who need these things, we can get it for you. This is the price of this one. This is the price of this one. As at today, in so 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 and so market, this is the price of this one. Reasons why you should get from the open market. Then when you get the contact of the suppliers that I give to you, most of them are in the north, which means it's significantly cheaper. So you talk about group buying, pooling of funds. So it's always more affordable. You always make sense logistics wise to buy things in bulk. So you can say that you're going to be buying honey beans from the north. You're going to be placing orders that you need two other people to join you or three other people. Some people that are based in Lagos will want to key into that offer. Some people in diaspora will also key into that offer. So set up your page first, put the pictures that you have gotten on branded pictures. You can take some from other online pages, but I usually do not advise that. Get the ones that you snapped yourself, you go from the market, it has your voice, you can add your voice over to it, or even while you are negotiating, talking to people in the market. Some of these market women are very, very friendly. You just have not seen their soft spots. So you can ask them questions. Oh, this product, mama, how do we preserve this ogbono? I want to send it to people abroad. Oh, what's the best way to keep this thing? And as you're talking to them, you're recording. When you post it on your page, someone abroad it will click with them, it will ring a bell with them, and they want to now see how they can work with you because you've taught them something new, right? So you move to the section that there's palm oil, and you're like, mama, we've heard that there are so many different kinds of palm oil now. What do you think? Which one? How do we know the one that is really good? Sure, you get, as you're speaking to them, you're getting content, you're adding it to your page, you're creating awareness, you're building that page, you're building integrity for that page. So after you have posted consistently for at least 10 days, you've not started selling anything, you're just educating, you're putting educative and informative content, then you can now start um putting content that is talking about orders that you are making from the north. So you're saying you're ordering a bag of hibiscus flower from the north, that's zobo leaf. You're ordering ginger from the north. You want to order a bag of pepper from the north. That if you need this kind of thing, send a DM to me. Let us order in bulk so that we share the delivery fee and that kind of thing. I've seen a lot of pages that grew that way. Before you know it, they start getting a lot of buyers in Lagos and also abroad. Then you move from there. You now start advertising, you start working on the other strategies we have shared so far.
All right. Thank you so much, Adora, for that. So we have it there, people. The very next steps where you should start from. Now you can start from wherever you are. You can start by just first of all creating the page, creating awareness, building a community, let people know that this is what you are even into. Do not underestimate the power of social media. Do not underestimate the power of the internet. We are now a global village because we have the internet. Take advantage of it, leverage it, and build a formidable enterprise using the tools available online. Now, Adora, I know we just spoke to people who are sourcing foodstuff from the general export, from the general open market. Now, how about people who have a product and they want to export?
Okay.
What do they do?
Okay, for people who have a product, I think it's usually easier for them
Okay.
when you want to start targeting people in diaspora, because your product is not NAFDAC certified. That is, if you're starting, you already have a product, and we know NAFDAC process takes months and even a longer duration, but you still need to sell to people. So your target will not be Amazon or stores over there. Your target will be individuals, caterers, and the other people that I mentioned. So just like I talked about, being visible in platforms that these people are visible on, you also need to run ads. You need to run targeted ads. So you put some of your products, add it as a video. Videos usually do much better online now. Turn it to a video, then boost that post. So you're not boosting the post with 1,000 naira. You invest money to make money. So I know some ads experts usually say at least 1,000 naira per day. I usually advise that you do at least 3,000 naira per day, because you're reaching out to people in diaspora. It's not a very close nearby location. So 3,000 naira per day for a minimum of, let's say, 7 to 10 days, on a post that is already doing well. So that post has gotten engagement for a while. Then you now boost it to reach even a wider audience. And the post should have the things that you have available, the benefits, how, like, the reviews people have about it, the good things people are saying, amazing things people are saying about this product, and the price. So if you have products, I I always say bundles work better if you're targeting people in diaspora. They don't buy in pieces, they don't buy in units. So put your products in bundles and then add a price to it. Let them know how much delivery will cost and the locations that you have experience sending to, or the target location. So I see a lot of food businesses that put, okay, 200,000 naira package that has different types of foodstuff in it, a 300,000 naira package that has different types of foodstuff and spices, 100,000 naira package, and a 50,000 naira package, and they're telling you it's free delivery or 50% delivery to the US. We all know it is not free. They have infused that price into the cost of the foodstuff, but because it is a bundle, it still makes sense. So that's where getting to know the rates of cargo agencies works, and the dates that their packages or their shipments usually leave. So if we're advertising frozen cargo now, there is a snails vendor that is already running ads with it and telling people that September 27th, frozen cargo to the US is leaving. September 28th, frozen cargo to Canada is leaving. I'm going to package your snails. I'm going to send it for free to this so and so agency. All you need to do is make your order, pay, and we will handle the rest. So that's how to do it. You can also collaborate with other food vendors that have items um that go with your products. So if you're selling more of sauces, you should be looking at people that products that people will buy and use your things with. So if there is a vendor that is known for solely beans or clean beans or beans flour or things like that, and you have paste, you have or fada paste or agoyin paste or things like that, or more of crayfish or pepper mix and spices, you should find a way to do like a bundle together with that person and run ads with it. So every month have different offers to different locations. That's the place where your product placement and your market combination works with. So this month you should have something for US people. Next month you should have something for Canada people. Next month you should have something for UAE people. So they know that your products are not just for people in Nigeria. You are getting buyers in these locations and you're actively calling them to come to your page, and that you have your products ready for them.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Adora. And that is about, okay. Just as I was about to say, that's about all the questions we have for tonight.
Another one
Um,
came in.
as in this final question just comes in, and of course we'll just take this and just she says already selling to some people outside the country. Page is running ads for 2 years, but like she said, NAFDA takes months, but won't. But I think won't her contact make it shorter, like she said. Okay, so I think she's asking that NAFDAC makes her process too long, and she wants to know if your contact would make the process shorter so that she can buy more time.
I don't know what's keeping your items. Did you get all the requirements at once? Because when I spoke to the man and I was complaining about time from some of my customers, what he said is that when they get things in NAFTA, they usually have a list of the requirements. So most people, after you send your products for testing, they give you feedback, and then you don't implement the feedback immediately. So the speed at which you implement their corrections will determine how quickly you get it as well. Fine, the duration takes long, but you can cut it shorter if they give corrections and you take action, you implement it immediately, so they come again for your check-ins and you pass it. So I don't have a say on the duration, and I don't know if he can make it faster, but he can give you information on how to ensure that you get it in the shortest time possible.
Yeah, and just still on this, I think it is at this point good to mention that the Borderless Trade Network has a relationship with the TIC where we help to facilitate this NAVDAC certification so that it is very easy for you if you're trying to get your business or your product NAVDAC certified. We have contacts, we have people we work with to have to help the process get seamless. And but of course you have to have all your requirements, and if you fall under this category, feel free to drop a message for me in the group or private chat me, and I'll help you through this process while also providing you with the contacts that Adora will share with us. um Okay, of course, Tosin, you'll be added to the WhatsApp group. Just send your contacts by whatever means. Probably you came in through Borderless Trade Network private IG account. Send your details, your email address, your phone number, and your full name um, to Borderless Trade Network Instagram DM, and you'll be added to the WhatsApp group immediately. That's for Tosin Obamedo. You were asking if you can be kindly added to the WhatsApp group. All right. And I think we have successfully and finally come to the end of this class. I personally do think that it was a very, very insightful and impactful class. Adora, you have a lot of love coming in for you, saying thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, a lot of people are saying that they
Thank you all.
appreciate, and of course,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate this as well. Thank you to the Borderless Trade Network for putting this together, and you're very welcome. Um, Thank you to everyone who has stayed this long. We look forward to working with you and holding you through this process. You just have to know that it does not end here. This class cannot end now. I understand that it may not be a you cannot do that, you cannot do all that is required for you to do with just sitting down in a 3-hour class. It's helpful, But as you take the steps, we also understand that you might need some help along the way, and we're here for you. The WhatsApp group is still going to be very active, and you would still you can feel free to ask questions, feel free to at any point you've taken the steps and you're stranded, feel free to reach out, and we are always available to help, right? And yes, regarding the replay, it's available, but it will be available at a token just for those who attended the first class, who are attending the live class. It will be available for a token, but the directory and every other thing that we promised earlier would be given to you immediately. So, but if you want the replay, of course, you can always get the replay at a token, and would communicate further in the WhatsApp group. Um, Thank you all so much for joining. And with this, we've come to the end of this class. We would see you, yes, we would see you um, in the WhatsApp group, and would always, because you can always stay Instagram page, our internal communities. You can join the Borderless Trade Network internal communities for more courses or classes of this nature. And if you have already started exporting, probably on an informal level, and you need help formalizing things, standardizing, you want to do your product standardization, you want to do a product analysis, you want to do a market analysis, you need help knowing, okay, I've already started something, but I don't know how to expand beyond where I am, or I'm getting a lot of return. My goods are returned, and I want to know where I'm missing it or where I'm getting it wrong. We have another class coming up for that level. So stay tuned, stay with us, stay on our content, stay around the community. If you're not part of the BTN community already, I mean the internal community now, please feel free to fill the form on our Instagram Linktree account, and you'll be automatically added to the BTN internal community to get exclusive opportunities, access to information, trade fairs, markets, and whatever else that we offer to people in the internal community. Thank you all so much for joining us and staying till this time. It's been a very, as I said earlier, insightful and impactful session, and we cannot wait to see how you make use of this information and make use of this knowledge that you've gotten. We're here to help you every step of the way. You can always count on that. Have a lovely night rest. Good night.